What's up, y'all? It's Antoine Winfield Jr., safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What's up, y'all? This is Jahad Wolf from the New York Giants.
What's good, y'all? This is Sterling Shepard.
This is Justin Tuck. This boy Flex Gilbert, Super Bowl 42 world champion.
Chris Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What's up? This is Saquon Barkley. Dex Lawrence the second.
Yo, this is Mike Evans with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
And we about to go live on Flag on the Play.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Yo, we back. Episode 50, Flag on the Play. Back here with the guys, back here with my dog Flam. I had to bring it back on AFC North episode, bro. How we feeling, though, bro?
That intro, oh my god,
Fire.
that masterpiece. That shit was so good.
Facts. And also, just an announcement, of course, this is going to be the first episode we put on Spotify. You know, we got to start moving up in this shit, man. So, man, let's get to it, bro. I'm gonna start with you, Flam, because of course, we all got catfish with the Brandon Aiyuk news yesterday, and then we got some news. I think later that night, there was only two teams that put like offers on the table to where Brandon Aiyuk got accepted, and it's the Browns or the Patriots. And of course, you're the Browns fan, so in a scenario here, of course, we don't know the trade, but who would you trade for Brandon Aiyuk specifically to try to get him to the Browns?
I mean, in a dream world, I think I was just talking to Young about this, man. One of our DBs is going to have to walk, one of our corners. And I think just with MJ's size in the AFC North, I think you're going to have to keep him. I mean, Denzel's already solidified himself as a captain. Newsome actually, they were bullying him in the playoffs. Like the Texans, Nico Collins hit him with multiple double routes. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like his size, you know what I'm saying? Like the AFC North, I'm always a big fan of big cornerbacks, so I'd probably just go straight up player for player. But I know that.
Hey, yo, hold on, Flam, your mic keep going. Your mic keep going like up and down. Like,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, you got these like right here. Yeah.
Okay, bet. Yeah, no, I was just saying like, if in a dreamland,
Flam, it keeps doing it, bro.
Swear.
It's like you will talk and then you just get real low. Like,
This it's like a Popeye laugh.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
There we go.
You sure?
Straight now.
Yeah. Bro, I had it on my headset. My headset audio.
Oh, well, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, just restart what you said. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I was just saying, man, in a dream world, I would like to go player for player. You know, Greg Newsome for Aiyuk straight up. I'm a big fan of big body cornerbacks. Newsome gets targeted a lot when we face rivals. The Texans take advantage of him in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, he's good, he's decent. But I know the Niners are also looking for draft compensation. I slept on it. Amari and a third. You know, I think it gets the job done. We're paying a wide receiver one either way. Shanahan and Stefanski kind of run the same offense already. So big play action offense, you know how Cleveland rocks. So it would hurt, but man, if we can keep Amari Cooper and get Aiyuk and Judy, and I mean, health is the only reason that would scare me at that point. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about talent on the offensive end. So,
Champ,
If it, from what I've been reading, this is just from what I've been reading. I don't have the inside scoop like some of you guys do, or the expertise. But from what I'm reading, it's all up to Aiyuk at this point. So if he's smart, and that's a big if he's smart and wants to contend, I would recommend him going to the Cleveland Browns, especially if they can find a way to keep Amari Cooper on that team. Now, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I am definitely looking into trying to send some draft compensation rather than trying to get rid of one of my key players, because this is on paper, this is a hell of a team. The only thing it's gonna rest on is can Deshaun Watson come back and at least put up a decent season. He doesn't have to even be Deshaun Watson of old if this trade goes through. If he's able to have a decent season where the offense is clicking just 75% of the time, I think they can go ahead and they can try to win a Super Bowl. But be warned, this offense was already the most expensive offense in the NFL without Brandon Aiyuk. $191 million is invested in this offense alone. If you bring in Brandon Aiyuk and you don't have to give up a key player, you just got to give up draft compensation and a utility player, then guess what? It's do or die at this point for Deshaun Watson. They're not going to want to hear it after this year. Look, you come out here, you mess this up this year, you have a mediocre season, you are surrounded by weapons. You have a hell of a defense. You have arguably the greatest player on defense in the NFL right now. So nobody wants to hear it. So if this trade goes through, and that's a big if because it's up to Brandon Aiyuk, and they don't at least make the AFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl, guess what? We could be hearing the same thing. We could be hearing about a Russell Wilson Part 2 when it comes to Deshaun Watson next year, because they may be willing to pull the plug on him. He might be leaving Cleveland like Byron Scott at this point if he doesn't do anything this year. So just be warned. Hey, you're surrounded by weapons already, but the thing is, if they're able to get an over-the-top weapon with a Brandon Aiyuk, you don't have to give up anything but some draft compensation and a couple of utility players, guess what? It's do or die.
All right, Donnie.
I think the Browns makes absolutely no sense. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, just because of the fact that their cap space is currently negative $80 million. They have 9 players with a cap hit of over $19 million just this year, which is insanity. And now you're going to sign Aiyuk to minimum $28 million. Come on. Cap space is real, guys. That's the problem with the Browns for me. And, it's mainly just because of the Watson deal, because that Watson deal really did screw up a lot of stuff with their cap space. And that's why I think trading for guys like that just it shouldn't be in their mindset. Like when you are this bad at managing the cap space and you are that much negative, you need to focus on hitting your draft picks. That's the only way you're going to get out of this hole. I think getting rid of picks for Aiyuk would be dumb. And no matter what, San Francisco is going to ask for a pick, no matter what. So that's why I wouldn't do it. But if they did do it, it'd be interesting. But, I mean, you know what? Let's just focus on if they do it. If they do, that is going to be one of the best wide receiver trios in football. I think we can all agree on that. But I just don't know if it's going to happen because their cap space is horrendous. And when your cap space is horrendous, you got to hit on picks. And I don't think you should be giving up picks when your cap space is that bad. So that's just me.
Yep.
Hey, Donnie, do you think it would be worth it if they were to finally win a Super Bowl there? Will you think it would be worth it if they were to get the trade for Brandon Aiyuk and, they trade whatever in order to get him? They get him and they go all the way to the Super Bowl and finally win it in one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. Do you think that would be worth it?
I think that'd be worth it, but I think everyone would get fired in about 3 years from now. I think everyone's getting fired pretty quick if that happens. And good for them. They won the Super Bowl, and I bet the fans would trade 8 years of being bad for a Super Bowl in a heartbeat. But with the coaching staff, with the front office, I'm not too sure.
I don't think anybody would get fired. The Browns have.
I think Andrew Berry would get fired quick.
Andrew Berry has probably drafted the best the GM.
He's been drafting well for sure. But when you're throwing out contracts like that, stuff's going to get bad quick.
I mean, he's also a cap space guy. That's why the Browns brought him in from Minnesota. So he knows his numbers. He's obviously known his numbers somehow. With the talent that we have, people are still confused. Like, are they still hurting from the Deshaun thing? And then you look at the picks that we have and the picks that we have made over time. It's insane. I don't think anybody would get fired, though.
The Browns have been great at drafting, and I've been saying this for a while. But sorry, go ahead.
Young.
Yeah, I mean, if you can keep Coop and get Aiyuk, I think that puts the Browns kind of are in the same situation as the Jets to me. Like, they are going all in not because Deshaun's old, but if they need to get off this contract, they need to realize it sooner than later. Like, they're at the point where the roster is a Super Bowl roster. Can the quarterback come through? If you can't, you can start gutting it a little bit and figuring it out from here. But if you can keep Coop, Aiyuk, Judy, Njoku, Chubb, and Ford, like, that team is a Super Bowl caliber team. Now, if you get rid of Coop, it's still a Super Bowl caliber roster. It's going to be more on Deshaun. I think if you can keep those surrounding pieces, you can kind of ease that burden. And again, if you get 80% of what Deshaun used to be, you're going to challenge for a Super Bowl because the roster is just loaded. If you can get 75%, same thing with the Jets. If the Jets get 75% of what Aaron Rodgers is, they're going to be challenged for a Super Bowl. So I think it's similar. I don't know the cap numbers. I mean, we were talking, before the show. Somebody, after this season moving forward, you're going to start having just the contract's going to become a problem because it's a lot of money. But I'm interested to see. I hope he goes to Cleveland. I don't want him to waste in New England, even though if he goes to New England, he's going to get a big contract. He'll get paid.
Drake May, man.
May.
I
mean,
come on, Drake May. We're big Drake May fans here. Come on.
No, I like Drake May. I don't know. So ultimately, I just hope he goes. I want them to go get Aiyuk and keep Coop somehow. I don't know how you got to do it, but that's what I would like to see.
All right, JJ. So just to give you a quick rundown, we based on my Aiyuk and how the two teams that are basically are a lot of contentions that he has to choose the contract are the Browns or the Patriots. Which team do you want him to go to?
Can y'all hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so for me, the teams that I would rather him go to, personally, I'd rather him go to the Browns. I think if you go to the Browns, you already make an already loaded roster, even more loaded roster. The only thing is I saw that earlier that they would have to trade Amari Cooper in the midst of trying to get Brandon Aiyuk. And honestly, you'd want both of them, but if that's what you got to do, I mean, you get a younger guy that's still really good. It's honestly better than better than Amari Cooper. I love Amari Cooper. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league. But honestly, if you put Brandon Aiyuk on that team goes up another level, man. So I'd rather him go to the Browns. Honestly, though, I can see a scenario where if he goes to the Patriots, be a part of a rebuild that would be, now jumpstart. It'll be a little bit faster. That rebuild will be going through a little bit faster. You pair him up with your young quarterback Drake May, who I'm assuming is going to be your quarterback of the future. Even though we've seen all these talks with Joe Milton and all this stuff, which is kind of crazy to me, right? But I'd rather you have you pair him up with a young guy like Drake May who can, get him the rock. You know what I'm saying? Get him the football in a lot of tight areas. Drake May, they claim he's raw, but I don't think he's as raw as people really make him out to be. And he'll go crazy with a guy like Brandon Aiyuk. So I'd rather him be on the Browns because of how good they are right now. But if it's even for a future tense, I'd rather, the Patriots is not something to sleep on, man. So
am I the only one who wants to go to the Patriots?
I'd rather him go to the Patriots.
Am I the only one who actually wants him to go to the Patriots?
Dude, I want to see Drake May.
Like I said, I'm not opposed to it, but I'd rather him go to the Browns.
Weapon, dude. Drake May needs a weapon.
I think it starts a foundation because say they don't get Aiyuk, I'm not gonna lie, they're either getting Tech McMillan or Luther Burden next year.
Yeah,
and if you get him, if you get Aiyuk, you don't have to spend a top 5 pick on a receiver. You can
focus on your
for sure.
line.
The thing is, though, both of those receivers to me would still be very viable for that team in general, right? One, they've already started a foundation. Like you said, they would. I think it'd be jump starting their franchise to go.
Yeah, I'm saying
a couple years. I think the foundation that they already got with the 2 receivers they got. I think the 2 receivers they got right now is a good start to whoever their number 1 is going to be in the future, right? And so whoever their number 1 would be, whether it's Aiyuk, Ted, Luther Burden, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a solid. You can have a solid duo with him, Javon. Even the Jalen Polk comes out and he starts showing out a little bit more than what I expect him to be. You know what I'm saying? They have a nice trio going on over there, right? They have some guys. They talk about Demario Douglas and stuff like that. We can see just how good these guys can really be next to whoever their number 1 is going to be in the future. I don't think they have their number 1 right now, but I definitely think whoever their number 1 is in the future, paired up with those 2 guys or 3 guys, whoever it is, it could be really nice over there.
Here's the one thing I want to throw out 2 things real quick. The first thing I'm going to throw out is there's no way in hell New England gives up their 1. There's just no way in hell because that's going to be a top 8 pick, almost guarantee. Like even if you get Aiyuk, that's still going to be a top 10 pick, and that's way too valuable to give up. The other thing that I kind of thought of is, and it's interesting because I just now thought of this. Why do you need to give up Amari Cooper to the Niners? In my opinion, what is the Niners' biggest need right now? It's tackle. And currently on the Browns roster, I think they have 3 starting tackles right now. I think Jack Conklin and Jedrick Wills are starting tackles, and you have DeJuan Jones just sitting on the bench right now, who, when he was on the field last year, was good.
Yes,
and what do the Niners need? good lord, do they need another tackle next to Trent on the right side? So why not trade for Jack Conklin?
That's what I was saying. As a Browns fan, though, I want to keep that on the hush hush. I would like to keep all 3 tackles because offensive line depth.
Well, like Flam, you would rather give up Cooper than one of your tackles? Like if
Oh
you
no, I'd rather give up
Newsom.
Newsom. Yeah, I'd rather give up Newsom than one of my tackles because offensive line in the AFC North is so important. Like the pass rushes and the defense is there. I'd rather I'd rather have a 3rd tackle on the bench because we know how it gets sometime in those trenches. But like I said, that's just me as a fan, bro. Like just nervous of how everything goes. But I agree with you 1,000% for sure.
So wait, why would you rather give up Greg Newsom though?
He's gonna want a lot of money. We already have a hefty like Grant Delpit. I'm pretty sure he's gonna want money.
Yep.
Juan Thornhill hasn't lived up to his Super Bowl contract that we gave him that we're paying.
Martin Emerson's gonna be a free agent pretty soon.
Yeah, so there's a that DB room is gonna be the one that's gonna have to get broken up. I'm already knowing it. I thought it was gonna happen when we traded for not Judy.
Yeah.
The year before, I forgot who we traded.
I mean, Flam. It's funny you said that. Like about a week ago, I was on a draft pod, and I was talking about the 2025 draft, and I think a sneaky need that the Browns could take next year is a corner, because I think there's no way you can keep all 3 of them. There's just
it's impossible.
I think in such a good corner class, I think that's definitely a sneaky need.
I guess my next question is, Flam, when you say that you should trade one of the tackles, would you trade DeJuan Jones, or would you be trading Jack Conklin or Jedrick Wills?
I'm letting Conklin go. I mean, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. I think that's 2 season-ending injuries back to back, and I think he's pushing 30-something. He's going to have to win the walk. Although I've never been a fan of Jed Wills ever since the draft. I feel like we picked the wrong tackle at that position.
Yeah, he's been pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, like we plugged DeJuan in, and that dude, he had a pretty damn good day against TJ Watt. So, and he's a hometown guy. So between Jed or Conklin, it's a coin toss, personally. But
now, who makes more money out of either one of them?
I believe
that's what it really boils down to.
Yeah, Jed for sure.
Yeah, so I think that's what it boils down to. I think it's if you're trying to trade one of your tackles, man, you want to go see who makes the most money and see if that can even match up with whatever Brandon Aiyuk is asking for. So
yeah, man.
Before we talk about the next topic, let's shout out Jordan for the super chat. What else super chat? Pete Jordy Nelson, Pete Keenan Allen. I'm gonna lean towards Keenan, but I'm not gonna lie. Jordy was a dog though. So I mean,
I'm fine with either answer. I'm fine with either.
I was gonna say I could be funny if y'all really was about to, go get crazy, but we just gonna stop, man. So we just gonna move on.
You a troll, bro. Listen, you a troll, bro. No bullshit, but let's talk about this other topic before we get to the AFC North breakdown, bro. And also before Matt gets here, we have another topic when he pulls up because it might get.
Boy, Matty Clack pulling up, man.
But, let's just talk about the top 100 list, bro. Of course, top 100 list comes out every year.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna read all of the 100 people on there, but of course, it has some crazy controversy because Patrick Mahomes is number 4 on the list or the players list. So I'm gonna start with you, JJ. How did you feel? How did you feel about this year's top 100? Even though I don't really, I'm gonna say I don't really give a damn about it, but I think this list was crazy.
So the way I feel about it, for one, look, guys, we're talking about a list that players themselves go out and they go vote on, man. Players, they're the majority of the leading vote. You get a little bit of media, you get some coaches in there, yes, but the players are the majority leading vote when it comes to these lists, right? My only thing is we already know how y'all disagree. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have disagreed with what a player has said about a certain player before. I just seen a video not even 2 days ago where they was talking about Ezekiel Elliott back in the day, and this man Vernon Davis and Kyle Juszczyk are sitting here going nuts about Ezekiel Elliott. Talk about this the best player they've ever seen, right? And Vernon Davis, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he was trying to do something nasty work for some Ezekiel Elliott, right? So this just goes to show, one, they have a lot of friends in this league, but not only that, in their eyes, the league the way the league is, Patrick Mahomes has been doing this for however long, so they know that's who Patrick Mahomes is, right?
Quick, JJ, I ain't even trying to cut you off. I'm not gonna. I literally just found this out. So the top 100 list is the criteria. The criteria that they give. It starts in Thanksgiving. It's not like they vote on this on the end of the season.
Yeah,
like after the Super Bowl. This is like around November. So the season's not Like the all pro selections haven't been out. No MVP. It's during the season, but yeah, that's when it's put out there.
Yeah. So that makes it even what I'm about to say even better, right?
Mhm.
You go, right, and you pay attention to, like I said, people think Patrick Mahomes is who he is. We know he's who he is, right? Now, in my eyes, when I say who he is, that means he's the best player in the league. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
But in other people's eyes, when they watch, when I'm not gonna really allude to it because you better get to it anyways. But when they watch the other players that they listed ahead of him, they feel like one, they look a lot better than they did, and they were just some game breaking guys, right? So what happens is there's a lot of fatigue when it comes into ranking the same player, as it always happens with anything you do. They're always gonna get tired of saying, yeah, this person's the best, all this other stuff. You even saw Jamar Chase. He said he's not even gonna say
not saying his name.
he's not even saying his name. To me, that quantifies
He
you
whose
as
name shall not be spoken.
to me, that quantifies you as being the number one player in the league, just based off of that alone.
Call that man the boogeyman.
Exactly. So look, I'm not gonna fully go and be mad at what a bunch of players are saying about Patrick Mahomes, because there's clearly people that have ranked him as number one, but the majority it landed him at number 4. That's where it landed him, right? However they did it, however they delve up the point system, whatever to do it, it landed him at number 4. And the reason why it landed him at number 4 is because the other 3 guys, they did some wild stuff last year. Let's not get it twisted. And I think that's what it really came down to for them, man. So
Tyreek number 1 is all.
Young, how you feel about the list, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I think the list is absurd, but I get it why they do it. It's really just the players kind of acknowledging who's having the better season. And it's not stat watching, but there's a sense of stat watching. Like, again, I saw Tua over Joe Burrow. I don't know anybody that would say, and no disrespect to it, nobody's taking Tua over Joe Burrow. So
injuries, man. Injuries,
yeah,
dog.
But why would they rank them higher?
Tua over Burrow.
They ranked them higher because Tua played a full season. Tua played a full season where they scored, like he said, during Thanksgiving. Don't forget, gang. Before Thanksgiving even hit, them boys, the Dolphins just dropped 70 on the Broncos. So
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like it's a lot of it's recency bias, but I think it's meant that way. That's why we get it.
Yeah, definitely. You get it every year.
And that's why we get it every year. But yeah, I mean, we all know Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. But like you said, Trent, when they're voting from Thanksgiving and they finish like around December, at that time, people thought the Chiefs weren't even really going to get past round 1. They were really questions on this offense is horrible. They're like, the defense was elite, but the offense is horrible. So I think that's where you kind of have that Lamar over, Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill over Patrick Mahomes.
But the reason why, like, I don't get it, honestly. Somebody got a video playing in the background. I don't know if it's but the only pushback I have, Young, is that, like, again, it's a players list. Said people, they don't really have a set criteria. It doesn't really, like, they had CMC, because look about this one out there. They had CMC over Mahomes this year, but when he went for 1K, they didn't put him over Mahomes. Like,
and that's what, like, it's just,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really,
the players are different. You know that. Like, players just kind of, they're going with the flow. Whoever they feel like they like at the time, they will say, "Oh yeah, I think he's like one of the best players in the league."
Also, when he went for 1K, they still had a losing season, right?
Yeah, but I don't think the reason why I pushed back on it, because look, what's his name? He was 6. He was 6 in 2019 when he did that.
Yeah, but the biggest parity at the end of the day, and for I think every person that's ever played football, bro, if you're not winning, it don't mean nothing, which is sad, but it is what it is. So they went as far to rank him at 6, but I guess the people that are ahead of him want.
I totally forgot Russell Wilson was ranked top 2 in this list. I totally forgot.
Yeah, like it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of recency bias. It's a lot of players you don't really think of it in an analytical sense. Now, behind closed doors, they know what's up. Like, they're not gonna say this. Who do you think is better, Lamar or Patty? Like,
they did not want to get Patrick Mahomes. They did not want to get Patrick Mahomes.
And I think it's they're paying their respects. They're giving guys their props. It's talking points because they know media is gonna talk about the list being crap. That's just everybody's talking about it. So yeah, I think they troll a little bit too. Like, to be honest with you, I do think there's a little bit of trolling in it.
Shoot, I would.
Yeah. But what's his name, Donnie? How you feel about this list, bro?
Tyreek is number 1. That's all I care about. Best receiver in football, best player in football. Let's go,
Yeah.
baby. Tyreek Hill. Let's go.
That's good.
Nah, for real.
That's
Good cook.
For real,
That's a
for
good
real
cook
though.
right
I
there.
mean, like, dude, we do it every year, man. Like, we do this every year. The list comes out, people freak out, and then it's like, ooh, football's starting again. Here we go. So
Yep.
it's basically the same thing every year. So
I mean,
I don't have a strong opinion. Honestly, the one thing I can say is for all the people that go out there and say you can't talk about the game if you've never played it. I just mention that list up every time. Like, that's all I do. No, it's cool. Well, guess what? Jettas may exist, but Tyreek is number one, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the whole. I know this is like music related, but I feel like it's the Drake thing too. You know, people are just tired of seeing him be good at everything in life. So eventually, you're gonna have a bunch of people that are peers that are like, "All right, bro, that's enough, bro. Let's give it to somebody else. I'm tired of this."
Kind of like they did.
So what you're telling me is Mahomes is never going to be number one ever again.
Nah, that's not what he's telling you.
I'm not saying that because I still think Drake can be number one still. Yeah.
Imagine next year he wins. You know, he does what he did a couple years ago. Wins MVP, Super Bowl MVP, gets voted number 4 again. That'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
That's definitely a true, bro.
That'd be awesome.
Crazy. Champ, how you feel about the list?
Number one, the biggest flaw on this list is the fact that Jalen Johnson is not on that list.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's pretty bad.
Johnson Island is not on that list. That's when I knew it was fraudulent when he wasn't on that list.
Yeah.
So that's just number one. And number two, I knew it was kind of fraudulent when Aaron Rodgers was on the list, so he didn't even play a down.
Hey,
Yeah,
but three.
Down and a half.
We played 3.
It's
Okay?
crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's 3 more pro snaps than all of us have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
you know,
why is he on the list like that?
Yeah, he had no business being on the list. And for him to be on that list and for Jalen Johnson to be left off of it is kind of crazy. Now, in defense of the players, I will say this. This is in defense of the players because guess what? I don't play in the NFL, and guess what? I wasn't big enough, strong enough to play in the NFL. I'm just gonna keep it real. That's why my behind joined the Army. So I'm just gonna keep it real. That's why I joined the Army and turned to boxing. So let's just keep it all the way 100 with ourselves. In defense of the players, I would say this. Yes, there is a little bit of voter fatigue when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. But if you really, really look at it, if you really look at the league overall, they will tell a lot of people among their peers will tell you just because you're the best quarterback in the league doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player in the league. Because the thing is, if you look throughout history, everybody will say now that the greatest quarterback ever is Tom Brady. Just put some out there. But people will say that the best football player of all time is Lawrence Taylor. And I think that's where they may get everything as far as the rankings go. They would say, okay, yes, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. Lamar Jackson's, they were the best quarterbacks this year. But the best player this year was Tyreek Hill. Because the thing is, this was the second year in a row, and I was doing them videos back to back on TikTok. This is the second year in a row where we was talking about him for MVP conversations, as far as going over 2,000 yards, having the potential in order to do that. I mean, possibly winning the Triple Crown and then going over 2,000. And if you remember correctly, I remember all of us sitting here this time, October of last year, we was talking about how statistically, I will say, the quarterback play was last year. Now, granted, Patrick Mahomes was spectacular, but that wasn't your usual Patrick Mahomes, 48 touchdowns, 5,000 yards Patrick Mahomes this year. Let's just keep it all the way real. Yep. We was talking about Tyreek Hill in MVP conversations all year long. And had he gone over 2,000, I believe he would have won the MVP. But like I said, that's the defense of the players. And like I said, quarterback play was not as good as it normally was. It wasn't as good as it was 2 years ago. It wasn't as good as it was a year ago. Last year, the Cam Newton comments came out. We was really looking at the quarterback position and even the offense itself, like, what the hell is going on? So in defense of the players, I think that's what they were looking at as well. This is only the second receiver. This is the first receiver that has had over 1,700 yards in the last 2 seasons and had the potential to go over 2,000. Not even the GOAT of wide receivers, Jerry Rice, did that. So I think that's what they're looking at this point in time, not just, hey, who's the best quarterback? We all want to look at the quarterback and say, hey, that's the glam position. And we all know that. We all understand that the quarterbacks carry the lead. But at the end of the day, guess what? Everybody was looking at Tyreek Hill for a long, long time when he was pursuing going over 2,000 as the running MVP. And I think that's what they were looking at. That's why they voted him number one.
Flame, how you feel about the list? I know you commented a little bit, but how you like
Yeah, Jalen Johnson not being on there is bananas, bro. But like I said, I feel like there's like a little player community, and I'm not even sure if everyone votes on it. I think only a select few.
No, it's only a select.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a little bit of a select few, and I guess when you're in the league as long as Aaron Rodgers, you get some leeway, you get some kind of respect. One thing that really surprised me is that once again tying back into being a Browns fan, I just the whole TJ Watt, Myles Garrett thing. I definitely feel like TJ Watt statistically should have won defensive MVP, but it's nice to see that there's some Myles Garrett truthers, man. I'm really proud of him. He finally got his DPOY. He definitely deserved it. But yeah, I was all right with the list. I wasn't tweaking too much.
All right. So now that we got the Patrick Mahomes stuff out the way, let me get to the real facts, man. My boy Tyreek Hill, yeah, he the best receiver in the league, bro. Let's just get it out the way, man. Let's just get it out the way. Y'all keep talking to me about Jettas. Y'all keep talking about that.
Yes, sir, JJ.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna just be real.
People know it. Go ahead.
I believe if Jettas had not gotten hurt, we would have been talking about the race to 2000 again this year.
The race to 2000 would have been crazy.
Yeah. And the thing is this.
Reek didn't get hurt too.
And we talking about
if Reek and Jettas didn't get hurt, they probably both would have went for 2K.
Bro, we would have seen two receivers go for 2K.
You know what?
That would be the greatest season ever, then, right?
The 2K.
That would have been that would have been the greatest battle for receivers.
Let me clarify.
It would have been the best battle since Julio.
I'm talking about
I'm talking
about JJ. We done been in some crazy seasons. So like with what was it 2012 of course with what's the name AP 2K Calvin Johnson 1900.
Yeah.
Of course you got like one of the years in fucking what was it 84 85 when Reggie White had like 20 sacks 12 games. Jerry Rice had like 20 TDs in 12 games. Like I'm not gonna lie. Two receivers going for 2K. That's the greatest football season of all time. I'm not lying.
Okay, so you say two receivers, but hold on. What did when Club Triple Crown did what's it called go for 2K rushing? Am I bugging?
No. I was 2020. Eric went for 2K in 2020.
No, okay, you're right.
Wait. Nah, I think he did go in 2021.
If he Triple Crown and Henry went for 2K in 2021. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020.
Dang. Okay. Well, regardless, bro. Like I said, you got two receivers going for 2K. You got the run. You got this. This would have been definitely for receivers. This would have been one of the best seasons ever. I'm not gonna lie. Just the receivers.
Reek is not.
He the best for sure. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else to say about it. Two things for certain, man. You know what I'm saying? At least we all know that Devontae Adams isn't number one no more. So that's all that matters. So yeah.
Better than Reek.
Wow.
He's not better than Rick.
Okay. You can keep telling yourself that dream that you want to, but
it's not a dream.
Not everyone got to agree with that, man. So it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek, you know what he did to you? He threw this. He did that.
Yeah, 2011 was the year of passing yards. No bull. That shit was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, hold on. That shit was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. You had Drew Brees, fucking Aaron Rodgers. That shit.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah, 2011 is like.
This is what Tyreek's saying to you, bro. This is what
2011 is one of my three favorite
seasons. He's still not close to Jettas.
2011 was awesome.
He did that to Jettas too, man.
What's one was 20?
Jettas probably my favorite receiver.
2018 was a great year too. There were so many good quarterbacks in 2018.
Yeah, but we talking about like. Let me think, because 2013, Payne's year.
Payne was kind of like, yeah.
Are we talking about Stat Pat and Peyton?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're not wrong.
Don't do that.
Stat Pat.
That's why 04 clears.
Now I will say your first game.
You do realize he stood out three quarters.
His first game, he threw 7 TDs, bro.
Yeah, that's bro. He got it.
I forgot Eli. Yeah, that's when we won the Super Bowl. Eli Manning was going crazy.
I think Brady threw for 5K that year too.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's Brady's most underrated season ever. That was like
what year? 2011. Oh, for sure. for sure.
That year is definitely.
There were a lot of good quarterbacks that year. It's just Aaron Rodgers had like maybe a top 3 season of all time. So
Greatest
Well,
season.
yeah, you could say
It might,
that.
it might.
You can really
The reason
say
why
that.
not young, so like
You can
I
say
think
that.
Aaron
I'm
Rodgers
not hating
do.
it.
I think Payne's
I'm not
04 year is kind of like that shit is ridiculous, bro.
I think those are the top 2 seasons of all time.
You getting 50 TDs and you didn't even get 500 passing attempts. You know how efficient you got to be to do that shit, bro. That shit is
pretty efficient, man.
Wait, what year are you talking about, Trent? What are you talking about?
04.
Oh, yes.
I think the
about
3
every year,
greatest
Donnie?
seasons. I think the 3 greatest seasons is what's the name? Payne's 04, A-Rod 2011. And 3, I'm not gonna lie, ever since J-Rod
07 Brady.
Ever since we did that MVP list back in a couple of months ago, and J-Rod was talking about 2022 Mahomes, that might be number 3 for me. I'm not gonna lie. It might be number 3 for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, what he did, he no real number 1. It's just Travis Kelce.
2018 Mahomes, yeah. I mean, that was
5,200. And
Yeah.
bro, that shit was. But 2018 is crazy though. I will say 2018 Mahomes.
It's just crazy. It's the fact that it's his first year as a starter. Like, that's just what's absurd to me. Like, his first year starting, he does that.
So when Caleb goes for 40 touchdowns and 10 touchdowns, what are we gonna say?
How about we just settle for 30?
We're just gonna stay quiet. We're just gonna stay quiet because y'all the expectation that y'all put on my boy Caleb Williams, bro. He gonna come find all y'all smack body because y'all keep putting this expectation on him, man. It's crazy.
Okay, what's the crazy expectation,
bro? Look, I'm with you because I've been telling you for the longest, right? I said
he plays better than Turner. They're gonna win the division. He plays 25%.
Yeah, for sure. I think regardless, I think if he plays at least even 50% better, they go win 9 to 10 games, right? But y'all, like Young, when I saw him put in the chat, he said 4.4, 30 TDs.
It was like I think I put like 4,100, 4,200, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. That's not crazy.
No, I can see that.
Hold on.
I can see that.
I'm sorry.
I think
you're a rookie QB unless you literally are sitting there just slinging the rock consistently.
I think he's gonna have a bit more of a turnover problem. The big time throws are gonna be there.
Wait, but time out.
Why he gonna have a turnover?
With that offensive crew that he has,
it's just the backyard stuff.
Wait. So JJ, with that offensive crew that he has, why is it crazy that for that stat line?
You sad because I think personally, like once again, you're sad. You're sad because once again, the crew that he has offensively, right? I think it's one of the best situations you can go walk into as a young quarterback, like ever, right? That's not the point, though, right? This is literally not the point. The whole reason is, at the end of the day, I don't think he's gonna have as much as a learning curve as like a Jaden Daniels or something like that, but there's no possible way that y'all telling me not one single quarterback, regardless of your rookie, is just not gonna have some type of learning curve or some type of little issue that's gonna halt them a little bit before they really go to who he really is. Because if he does 4,200 his rookie year, we're talking about. Look, I want you to understand what we're about to witness, right? And Young might be with it, but if he does 4,200, 30 TDs to 8 picks or whatever, we're about to look at one of probably the greatest QB of our generation, and we're talking about Patrick Mahomes.
No, we're not. Justin Herbert did that.
No.
Justin Herbert literally went 4,000, 30 touchdowns, and 10 picks.
No.
That was in only 15 games, if I recall.
Herbert.
Yeah, that was 15 games. Yeah.
Actually, that is you're right, but I'm not gonna lie. The stuff that Herbert
did it last year if he didn't miss
the stuff that Herbert still was dealing with, I know for a fact this, like me and you could agree on this, that I know for a fact that Caleb Williams will not be dealing with. I think the all-structure playmaking that he's going to be able to provide to that team will be leaps and bounds ahead of even what Herbert did. So I'm talking about it's also on-field skill too. So I think I'm complimenting both of those, right? Yes, Herbert is a very skilled quarterback. I do agree, but we do also understand that he has some tendencies that he needs to break out of, and it's been a long while coming since he hasn't broken out of those. Caleb Williams, for me, the way you're breaking it down to me, right? The way you just put out that stat line to me, it's like, okay, he already has this, that, and the third, going for himself, right? So if he does this, I'm sorry, the next seasons after that, you were talking about 4,500, 4,800. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not.
You know what?
I'm gonna say this. If a year from now we think Caleb is a top 5 quarterback, is that crazy?
If a year from now, I think Caleb, if he's a top 5 quarterback a year from now,
crazy.
He definitely fits the baby Mahomes label. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much.
That's what, like, I'm so confused. Like, here's another example. I'm gonna say this: if Trevor Lawrence gets this exact cast, what would y'all think he's gonna produce?
What, you talking about rookie Trevor Lawrence?
No, I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence right now. Like, if you give Trevor Lawrence this exact cast, do you think what's he gonna do?
No, Trevor Lawrence is also.
I mean, I'd rather you put him in the same situation. Personally.
Hold on. Better right now than.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I would say as of right now, he's better than Caleb.
He just has NFL experience.
Time out, Young. Don't even use now. I swear to God, if this was rookie Trevor Lawrence on Jesus fucking Christ, if this was Trevor Lawrence with this offensive crew, do you know the agendas they would have been pushing for this?
Yeah.
No, that's why I don't understand why
it's going to be good. I think the offense will be good.
So that's why I'm saying personally, and even then, I would have said back then. I just think the NFL. I think you just being able to get caught up to speed with the NFL. I think that's the only thing for me. I think personally, other than that, like I told Trent, I've told Trent this all off season. I think the people that are so far back on the fact that he can even go for like what 3,800 to 4,000. I think that's crazy in itself. I think you not thinking that he can do that is kind of crazy. No, I'm saying that you don't think he can. Yeah, the people that think that, the people that like J-Rob saying that y'all we going too far, that he might just do 3,500 and what 26 TDs or whatever. Which 3,500 for a rookie is cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's fine because I know the next season you really about to do something even more wild. But when you go and say right out the gate, flashed out right out the gate that he's going for 40, honestly, to me, Young, if he goes for 4,200, I don't know why he would even stop at 4,200 that season in the season, anyways. I don't think the Bears would try to stop him. I just think it's a little that's like an overstep in my opinion. I just think in that little 3,900, 4,000. Close to 4.1. I think that's where we could rest that right there. You know what I'm saying? 28 TDs, but you know
what's overstepping?
I think the fact that you're going for what port, you talk about him.
Here's another thing I'll put it like. I think we have a lot of hindsight when it comes to CJ Stroud. Going into last season, nobody thought CJ Stroud was a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. As prospect. Yeah. We were like, Stroud is good.
I don't think so either.
We were like, Stroud is really good. But Caleb was next level. That was just how it was. Mm. We just saw what Stroud did with Nico Collins, Tank Dell. And now you're getting Caleb with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze. So just
now here's my question to you.
Caleb Williams, this is what I'm saying. If Caleb Williams is any type of hype as a prospect that we just had regarded 2 years ago, I don't see why he wouldn't do it. I would be disappointed if he didn't.
Here's the thing I want to throw out there, Jon. And I don't think your stat line's crazy. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Here's my thing. And I've agreed with most of the stuff that Trent has said about Caleb. The only thing I heavily disagree with is I don't think the Bears are going to win that division. And outside of that, I agree with most of the stuff he says about Caleb because I think he's going to have a good year. But here's the thing. Stroud did walk into those weapons, and Caleb is walking into those weapons. Except Stroud got really lucky with his play call with Bobby Slowick because he came out of nowhere and was phenomenal. Shane Waldron, the old Seahawks OC who's now with Chicago, his track record isn't that good. So that's why I'm going to say I don't know if he'll have a Stroud year because I think the play calling gap is massive. Because I don't think Shane is anything special, and Bobby was special. Bobby was getting head coaching interviews after his first year.
Do you think Shane Waldron's going to be on some Brian Johnson type shit?
No, he's not going to be that bad. But Bobby was like a top 5 OC in football last year, and Shane, he was on Seattle last year, I understand. Listen, I understand that Shane dealt with a lot last year. I understand. The offensive line with Seattle was a mess because they had so many injuries. I get it. I totally get it. But to say he's going to be a top 5 OC like what Stroud had, I don't know. But I still think your stat line on him is fair, Trey.
I don't think Shane Waldron is going to just hinder this team that much with some Brian Johnson shit to where what Young is saying about Caleb Williams that we don't see it.
I agree. I think he's going to have a very good year. But I don't know.
I have a question. You know that Geno Smith went for 30 touchdowns, 4,200 yards, and 11 interceptions with Shane Waldron.
What'd you say?
Geno went for 4,200, 30 touchdowns, and 11 picks with Shane Waldron.
Yes, we did.
And you have Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
But
Wait,
off his last year
I'm going to say it again.
Off his last year performance,
Geno Smith
it wasn't that
with
impressive.
DK.
Seattle got rid of him for a reason. Seattle got rid of him for a reason. They got rid of him for a reason.
You're moving the goalpost, Johnny. I'm not gonna lie. You're moving the goalpost.
They fired him for a reason.
You're moving the goalpost. I'm not gonna lie. You're moving the goalpost.
With DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Dwayne Eskridge, he went for 4,200, 30 touchdowns, 11 picks. We're going to take that same Shane Waldron. We're going to give him Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Romo Dunze.
It sounds
Why
so
is it
good,
crazy?
bro. It sounds so
good. Why is it crazy for him to do that?
Did I tell you? Did I tell you it was crazy?
It sounds so good, man.
Why would I not expect that?
Why would you not?
To be honest with you,
Geno completes
I think every possible thing went well.
Canales wasn't there last season. He was.
I think every possible thing. Yeah, Dave Canales also. That is true. That is.
He was there the season before, not last season.
That is true, Purdy. Shout out to you. I think it's fair, but dude, every possible good thing to happen to Houston happened to Houston. Every single possible thing went their way. The O-line improvements. A 6th-round center having a good season. Lermy Tunsil staying healthy. The right side, Titus Howard actually playing good for once. Bobby Slowick, his first year as a play caller, top 5 OC. Nico Collins breaking out. Tank Dell being a 3rd-round rookie. Every possible thing went their way, dude. Everything.
I mean,
I don't know
every
if that's
possible thing. My bad, Donnie. Every possible thing went their way, but the thing is, you got to realize who's pulling the trigger. The thing is, you can have everything going right in every other place, but the person pulling the trigger, he's shooting blanks.
Look at Atlanta.
I mean,
bro, what's up, bro? What's up? What you got to say all that for?
Champ, everything is in the right place in Atlanta, but look at the trigger man.
Exactly, but
the trigger man didn't allow his quote unquote offense coordinator to call no plays, so we're done here. You know,
I mean,
real quick.
The
I think Taylor's gonna have a good day. He's my overall pick, man. Like,
I think at minimum he could be what Matt Ryan was to my Atlanta Falcons back in 2008. I think at maximum he can be. Yeah,
wait, hold on.
He can lead them to the playoffs.
Oh, if that's the case, then
yeah, he could be exactly what Matty Ice was to Atlanta.
If Taylor can be Matt Ryan,
I was gonna say Matt Ryan was literally a game manager in 2008. So I mean, you talking about what? You talking about Michael Turner his first year, right?
Yeah, Michael Turner his first year. He
was literally a game manager after that.
But I think he's talking about in terms of taking his team to the playoffs.
Like I said, he managed the game. That's all. After week one of Matt Ryan, week one of Matt Ryan, we didn't see that same man for the rest of the season. He was just playing the football game, just doing what he was supposed to do, doing what he was told. Yeah, like I'm with you, and I'm with you, champ. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. A low expectation.
Pick Jared Goff.
You know what I'm saying? That's like when they got him a running back in DeAndre Swift. I think at maximum, at best, what we're expecting him to be is what Big Ben was to Pittsburgh in 2004. I think that's the ceiling.
I'm not gonna lie.
Real quick, hold on. By the way, Pittsburgh that year did go 15-1. By the way, but Flam, what's the name? You had your hand raised because I know he was going. What was you about to say?
I was just saying it's not that crazy for Caleb to go crazy. If, like I said, I'm big on schedules. If you look at that schedule outside of the Niner game, and of course they have the division game, those are defenses that boy could easily light up. Like with those offenses, those receivers, I see mismatches across the board, and I feel like that defense. You give a rookie quarterback a top 10 defense. There's a lot of flexibility you can do with that offense. So I wouldn't be surprised if this man went for 4K, 30 touchdowns. So
would you be surprised if he went? Never mind.
If it's 4K, I'm with you. I just think, bro, I feel like I think all of us understand that the yards is actually it's much more to accumulate than what we just talking about. So when the reason why I'm being so very specific with him saying 4.2, and I'm like, drop that down 100 yards or something like that. I'm with you. Is because it's that 100 yards is a lot in a sense, if you know what I mean, bro. You know? It depends on it's game by game. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm really getting at.
I think the Bears are gonna. I think they'll be good this year. I just think there's going to be some growing pains. But
For sure. All right, so look, before we get to this to the breakdown, number one, make sure so we got 55, almost 60 people in the chat. Make sure if you have it, go tune into the Tampa Bay Bucks vlog that I've been doing. Antoine Winfield, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans interviews, all shit been fire. Sterling Shepard, Bucky Irvin, shit been going crazy on my channel. Make sure y'all tap into that. But
good job, man.
The man Matt is here, and we got to get to the facts. Matt Bisson wanted to say this. He wanted to say this last week. Of course, I was busy in Tampa. So, Matt, can you explain to the people why you had George Kittle over Travis Kelce all time?
Yeah, I think when you're looking at their careers, Travis Kelce, he has the stats, like, he has the 3 Super Bowls. But, like, I don't think that makes him better at football when that's, like, the measuring stick when it comes to most people. It's like, turn on the all-22. Kittle has better hands. Yak. I would say he's just as good as a route runner. Kittle is the much better deep threat. I think he's more physical, so he's better through contact than Kelce. I think Kittle is, like, far more dominant in the red zone than Kelce. I don't know if I said Kittle has better yak. I forgot, but he also clears in that too.
Well, he clears that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Just need to put it out there. Kelce, like, has more quality seasons, but, like, here's why I came to the realization that Kittle was better all time than Kelce is because I think George Kittle has been better than Travis Kelce every single year since 2018. I think the last time Travis Kelce was better than George Kittle was 2017. So it's like that's why the longevity, like, for Kelce, even though it's better, it's like Kelce's prime, George Kittle was still better than him, and Kittle has sustained good longevity. So that's why I think we should all acknowledge that, like maybe you don't want to do it yet, but, like, George Kittle is in that Travis Kelce territory. Like, he's a top 5 tight end of all time.
George Kittle broke the tight end receiving yard record with Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard in 2018.
That's true. Yeah, if anybody wants to bring up stats, 2018 George Kittle was up there with the
2018 George Kittle was unbelievable.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all know I've had George Kittle over Kelce, like, for a minute now. But y'all be getting me mad, bro. Because now y'all want to pick and choose when y'all want to value production. I swear to God, y'all do. Y'all pick and choose when y'all want to value production. Y'all really do, and it's really pissing me off. Y'all really pick and choose when y'all want to value production. Like, y'all really pick it because when we do a whole nother argument, when we talk about Jerry Rice versus Randy Moss, all I fucking hear is production.
That's not mine.
All I hear is production. But now,
yeah, man, hey, bro, is that his argument though? Is that his argument, Trent?
It's just not mine.
Yeah, what? Like, is that his argument?
I've heard Matt and other people talk about Jerry Rice production.
No, but most people will use the production, and that's why, like, that I understand that.
Okay, so Matt, I agree with you on peak, like peak for sure. I'm not gonna lie, all time. You can't say he's better than Kittle all time. I mean, he can't say he's better than Kelce all time. You just can't say it. Like,
well, why not though? Like, like Kittle has been better than Kelce for a while now. Kelce's best seasons, I think Kittle was still better than Kelce in 2019, in 2020.
I'm trying to put an example. JJ, if you can put an example out to me, or Young, because I can't think of one right now, where even though we talking about, like I said, peak for peak, I think Kittle is better. That's not right. From an all-time career standpoint, I don't think you can make the case, though. Like,
did you think Kittle was better last year, Trent?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When have you not thought Kittle was better than Kelce?
Huh?
When have you not thought that Kittle was better than Kelce?
Never.
So then we done talking.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
I swear we done talking. We in the conversation right there. I get what you're saying, Trent, but especially you. Actually, this is surprising coming from you.
No, I'm saying I know. It's just kind of okay. I'll put it like this. So look, it's because Kittle has been hurt. Like I'll put it like this, JJ. You know how I feel about Odell. You know exactly how I feel about him. I feel like if his career would have stayed longer, I think there's no questions asked. Like, he's top 10 lock. You cannot name me. I already been said on my platform. You cannot name me 10 players better than Odell as best for the best, peak for peak. Yeah. But when you go from all time standpoint, you can't say he top 10. You just can't say it. The nigga only has really 3 good years, elite years. That's what I'm saying.
So okay, to one acknowledge what Matty said, I don't think what he's even saying is that crazy. I think what the real thing is, I get what you're saying, and the main point is it's about, I guess, the consistency of it all, right? Okay, you got Odell, like you said, Odell's a perfect example. Odell plays even more years. We could be talking about him as a top 10 receiver all time if he's fully healthy, right? But the fact of the matter is he wasn't fully healthy. I think the things that go towards George Kittle, in my opinion, it's just like he's got hurt, but I don't think it was to that extent. One, I know you're not saying it is, but I don't think it was to that major of an extent. So I think you can give him a little leeway because it's not, what was it, like 3 seasons or 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. So and even then he wasn't even out for the whole. He played either a majority of the season or he wasn't out for the whole season. So yes, those seasons can be counted as I guess throwaways because of the fact of what the injuries. But for the most part, even with those injury riddled seasons, you still didn't think Kittle was better. You still didn't think Kelsey was better than Kittle, right? I think what it really boils down to for me is if when we talk about all-time arguments, it's really, like I said, it depends on how you value certain things, right? And if you value I guess still what you did over your career, so the production of what you did over the career on top of what your skill set is, then that's why you still think Kelsey is better than Kittle. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, Kelsey was still the number 2 man or number 1 man at times to Mahomes, and he was helping them win football games. That's all that matters at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, Kittle has been having to handle being basically the surrogate right tackle for the team at times and doing all these other stuff. So that way you don't see the quote unquote production from Kittle. So once again, it's all about what you value. I don't think what Maddie's saying is crazy. I know you don't either, but it's more. I get what your point. I get your point completely on why you say Kelsey will still be better all time because of. I mean, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Or no, it might be 3-time.
I just think
it might be 3-time.
He's been on the Chiefs this whole time. Yeah,
3-time Super Bowl champ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. On top of that, each of those Super Bowl runs. No, but not because of that. But I'm saying each of those Super Bowl runs, he was a very vital part of those runs. So I mean, when you get to those facts and you get to see what he's doing throughout his career, he still was balling. And so I get what you're saying, Trent. So it's not that crazy.
Matt, can I get your top 5 tight ends of all time?
Gronk, Gonzalez, Sharp, Kittle, Kelsey.
I'm not gonna lie. You're speaking malarkey. I'm not gonna lie. You're speaking malarkey.
Gronk.
What?
That's
Gronk, Gonzalez, Sharp, Kittle, Kelsey.
Malarkey. Yeah. Bro, this is malarkey.
If you have Kittle over Kelsey, you should have Kittle over Sharp.
Yeah, thank you. Like malarkey.
Yeah. I think Sharp should be 5th, personally, but I mean,
Shannon Sharp should be 5.
Yeah, on the list, he should be 5. But
I'm not gonna lie.
Shannon Sharp's gonna be.
Well, once again, that's his list. So. You said what? You said Shannon Sharp what?
Shannon Sharp is gonna be over Kelsey. I'm still I'm gonna watch a little bit more Shannon Sharp from what I've seen from him so far. I'm really high.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't even want to. Damn, bro, why y'all be doing that? I'm not even trying.
But why is Sharp over Kittle?
I think
I'm not gonna lie. Antonio Gates is top 5, bro. We're not about to do that either.
I mean, maybe Kittle is better than Sharp. I mean, I haven't really actually put that much thought into it. I was just trying to slander Kittle. I'm not gonna lie. Or Kelsey.
Dude, you and Karen, dude. Oh my God, that is a legendary.
Don't mention me.
He's not a top 5 tight end right now.
But Trent, for me, when you're talking all time, I mean, you guys know I don't really value stats. But exceptions is the only time I'll take that into consideration. I don't think Kelsey's career is a crazy exception to George Kittle, especially when you look at the circumstances. Kittle is in a heavy run first offense. Kelsey's not. I think if you put, this is just me, and I don't want to do hypotheticals. I don't see a skill set where you can't put Kittle in Kelsey's shoes and you don't get that same production.
Wait, young. Wait, time out.
I think Kittle's a better receiver than Kelsey.
Wait, but Young, why do you think that Jerry Rice's career is an exception? Because I'm not gonna Kelsey.
No, I'm the only reason I think his production is the exception. For me to ignore that production would be absurd, in my opinion.
Is Kelsey production not off the wall?
No. I mean, yeah, no. I see what you're trying to say.
It's off the wall, but it's not anything to where I'm like, oh yeah, this is just leap and bounds better than every tight end ever. That's what I think. That's how I see it. I don't think
it's. You talk from an all-time case.
I mean, production-wise though, it's pretty.
How's it not?
Kelsey, Like Kelsey has like almost double the career receiving yards. I'm pretty sure.
If it's an all-time standpoint, how is it not leaps and bounds, especially over Kittle?
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying I know because of injuries, that's why Kittle's stats aren't there. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's more context to it, in my opinion. I've seen Kittle in his peak when he's able to do it, not hurt. He went crazy. When he was the number one option, he went crazy. As the years have gone on, one, he's got hurt. Two, he hasn't been the true number one option as Kelsey has. I think a lot of the reason he has gotten hurt is because of the scheme he's in. Kelsey's not asked to do what Kittle's asked to do. Kelsey's asked to be a pass catcher. Kittle's not. He's not asked to be like JJ said, a surrogate right tackle. He's not asked to do that. He's not asked really to add anything in the run game, which I think that takes a toll on how you play. Look at Gronk. For a perfect example, asked to be a physical part in the run game is going to take years, and the style of play is going to take years off of your career, in my opinion. Kelsey,
so you got
Shannon Sharp. He's more of those guys that can play longer because they're not asking the physical aspects of tight end. And Trent, being able to block is a big part about being a tight end. Andy Reid just is like, I don't care. I don't need you to do that. And that has helped Kelsey, in my opinion.
Thanks.
Do you have Moss over Rice?
Let's talk about it.
I have Jerry Rice because I think his stats are just absurd. I think what he was able to do is absurd. But I'm not mad. If you have Moss,
I'm just saying, I just feel like this, though. Young, the same shit that you were saying about, I don't think in like any scenario, I think all that shit applies to Jerry Rice and what's the name. And Jerry Rice has had way better situation than Randy Moss. If you really want to get down,
I agree. I do. And listen, I'm not mad at. If you want to do that, I'm not mad at that. I think it's 1A, 1B with them. I think Kittle is a better player than Travis Kelce.
Hey, I think if I'm not gonna lie, I take Jerry Rice myself because I'm old, and we all know Trent is old.
I'm not gonna lie, you put Jerry Rice in that West Coast too. He's going crazy too.
You mean Randy Moss?
Randy Moss. I think if you put Moss with a Joe Montana, with a Steve Young, with a Rich Gannon, with a Jeff Garcia, I think he would have got, because people always talk about Larry Fitzgerald playing with 27 different quarterbacks. That Minnesota team, they never had a stable quarterback.
That's crazy.
And like, I grew up watching that team. I'm old enough to remember that team. All around that team used to be just talent galore from offense to defense. And when you look at that quarterback position and you look at it like, what the hell is this? I mean, I'll never forget the year after, Randall Cunningham damn near won the MVP, Jeff George, and you all know how I feel about Jeff George. Jeff George was the quarterback. I'm like, what the hell? He ain't playing golf nowhere. But it's just, I believe if he would have had better quarterback play, because we saw what he could do with Brady. We saw what he could do with Brady, and we saw what he could do when you had guys in magical years. So, if you saw what he could do with Brady, you saw what he did with his rookie year when he had a constant guy, I think he would have been a lot more.
Like what his son said. Thaddeus Moss came on my show. He said, I've never put it, once he put it like that, it kind of just ended that combo for me. He said if his dad had Tom Brady for his first 8 and then Aaron Rodgers for his second 8 years, I don't think it would be a conversation with him. So I don't think it would have been either, because he led the league in touchdowns with Dante Culpepper. Let that sink in. He led the league in touchdowns with Dante Culpepper.
Y'all kind of moving me for Moss over Rice right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Because young, we talking about situations.
Like I said, I'm old enough to remember these players. So
I'm telling you, the same shit that you saying for George Kittle and Kelsey, it's the same exactly with Randy, and he did it times 500.
And if you really look after Chris Carter, he didn't have another number 2 receiver. After Chris Carter, he didn't have a legitimate number 2 slot receiver. They can take that attention off of him. And if you really look at Jerry Rice, he had John Taylor. Yeah, John Taylor, JJ Stokes.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I'm about to start taxing Jerry Rice. I'm about to start taxing.
and Young, and he basically, that nigga Randy basically a 6'4" Tariq Hill with top 5 hands.
No.
Like I said,
let's really be honest now. If we're being honest.
If you put Tyreek Hill with better hands. So, hey, Trent, when you said that, I want you to know something. You set yourself up, man. You know what I'm saying? You just threw up the alley for me to go catch it, man. Yo, greatest receiver of all time is a 6'4" Tyreek Hill with better hands. And yet Tyreek Hill not the best receiver in the league? Yeah, stop talking to me, man. You're not talking to me. I'm not having it.
Wait. You think
I'm not having it.
You're better
You
than
think
that.
Tyreek Hill can do what Randy Moss can do?
No. Wait, yo. You talking to the wrong person. Yo, you talking to the wrong person. I'm repeating. Yo, you heard him say it. I'm repeating what he said.
Yeah,
Randy Moss is a 6'4". Randy Moss is a 6'4" Tyreek Hill, a 6'4" Tyreek Hill with better hands, right? So guess what? His greatest receiver all time is a 6'4" Tyreek Hill. That's all I gotta hear. Stop talking. I'm not having it.
Okay, hold on. See, hold on. See, this is where he start pissing me off.
I'm not having it.
I said, young.
I'm not having it.
Young, I said he's 6'4" with top 5 hands ever.
No, you didn't say that. Now you just rephrase your sentence. I don't like when you do that. Because what you do is you try to change the whole narrative. That's not what you did. That's not what you did. That's not what you did.
Bro,
I don't know. I said he had top 5 hands.
You did not say no. You said you said with better hands. Yo, chat, run it back.
Chat, hold on, chat. Did I not say Randy Moss is a 6'4" Tyreek Hill with top 5 hands? Yes or no? Please, yes or no? Please.
We're gonna have to run the film back after the stream.
You got to hit the
We're gonna have to run the
CCTV.
film back. 106. Remember that. 106.
Trent's comparison makes sense. To try to flip it,
I'll check it right now.
Tyreek Hill is a Randy Moss but shorter is crazy.
What you mean? I didn't do that. He did that. He said Randy Moss. He said Randy Moss.
Guys.
He said Randy Moss. He said Randy Moss. Y'all didn't even go back. Y'all just saying yes, he did. Y'all are literally munching right now. It's crazy. Hold up. Go ahead, Donnie.
Guys, hold on. Tyreek's the best receiver in the league. All right, we can move on.
Cap, malarkey.
Yeah, come on, Donnie. Look, all I gotta say is you can't tell me a dude is a 6'4" version of a receiver that you said not even the best receiver in the league. That's what you just told me. You told me this man.
Shut up, bro. He's getting me tight. He keeps trying to make it seem like I didn't say what I didn't say, bro.
Yeah, he is nasty. Nasty.
Like he's chatting. Like yo, you doing like you get me tight, bro.
Dude, I swear to God, Trent kicks AJ so much. I swear to God.
Hold on, Donnie. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, bro. Of the episode.
Oh, we got to the meat and potatoes, man. I really got to the facts right there. That's why you do it.
We didn't get to the facts. You just chatting. I'll say top my fans. Anyways, so I'm gonna start with you, Flam, in AFC North breakdown. So Flam, we'll go Flam, Champ, y'all know the order. Flam, who is the most overrated player in the AFC North?
Overrated?
Overrated.
It's a tie for me. I'm gonna go either probably Marlon Humphrey or Minka.
Oh, well, can you explain that?
Marlon Humphrey, one, he's never healthy, and it always seems like he gets targeted at the end of games. I don't think quarterbacks fear him. Like most DBs, when you mention Sauce Gardner, you mentioned PS2, Jalen Johnson, guys of that nature, I feel like they shut down their part of the field. I feel like Marlon Humphrey gets targeted way too much to be the guy. Minka, I just see him get beat up every time he plays the Browns. That's just all it is. But Marlo's probably 1A, and I'm gonna go Minka 1B.
What's the name?
Yeah.
Champ, who's your most overrated in the AFC North?
You know what, man? Now you got me stumped because I really can't answer that question about who's overrated.
Yeah, it's a hard one because it's such a good division.
It's a hard one because
I know exactly who I'm gonna say.
Now, when you think about, there's only really one player who has something to prove in the North that hasn't done anything, and that's Watson. But is he overrated? No, he is. He's where he is. He's not even ranked.
Right.
He's not even ranked at a certain point. So the thing is, it's kind of hard for me to say someone is overrated when you have all of this talent up there. But because the only person that really has something to prove that hasn't proven anything is Watson. So I'll pass on this one, man. You got me stumped on this one. I really can't say it, man. I really
overpaid,
and I don't want to give a bad take and have people laughing at me all over the world. So
Matt, who's the most overrated player?
Matt, if you take mine, I swear.
The most overrated player in the North is TJ Watt. And,
oh my god!
And I'm just saying this like he's not close to Myles Garrett. I don't see why people think like those two are close. But like I don't even think Watt is better than Parsons right now. Like just getting to the quarterback, like no. TJ Watt.
Maddie, can I ask you this question? Don't mean to interrupt. Can I ask you this question? Do you attribute? Now, I don't think he's overrated. Let me get that out of my mouth before I even say what I'm about to say, because I have said this before. Trent, I've been on your show and said it. Do you overrate TJ Watt because of the system of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you overrate him because of that? Because if you really look at the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers and that linebacker core, I mean, linebackers come in and they can fill them in and out as they see fit. Do you believe he's overrated due to that system? And do you believe that if you put any other linebacker like a Micah Parsons, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, if you put him in that same system, do you believe that he will have that same production with the Pittsburgh Steelers like every other linebacker like Joey Porter, Jason Gilded, and all those guys have? Do you believe that?
I think specifically Micah Parsons, yes, I think you're getting just as much, if not more, production. Like Micah Parsons, I think is more versatile than TJ Watt too as well. Like he could also play more in pass coverage than a TJ Watt. But like I don't really tax TJ for having a great system around him. Like I just don't. But like it's just when I turn on the film and it's like, dude, like nobody right now is close to Myles Garrett. Like just to make it plain and simple, Myles Garrett is one of the best defensive players that I've seen in person in my lifetime. Like it's not close.
Do you have him over Derek Thomas?
Yes.
Do I have Myles Garrett over Derek Thomas? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm just asking.
I like Derek Thomas. I think he's underrated, but no, I got Garrett over him.
Donnie, it's on you.
Yo, Gabe, I need you to lock in, dog. Well, Matt kind of took the words out of my mouth. You know what? He slandered TJ, so I'll give him some praise. I don't think there are a lot of edge rushers better with their hands in the NFL than TJ. Like he clearly has been taught very well by and you can tell he's a Watt. You can tell he has been, because listen, he's not the athletic freak that the other five guys or the other four guys are in the NFL. Like out of all the top edge rushers, he's clearly not a Myles athlete. He's not a Parsons athlete. He's not a Crosby or a Bosa athlete. It's just as simple as that. And outside of Parsons, he's not even close to the size that the other guys are, because Myles is 6'5", 280, Crosby's 6'4", 275, Bosa 6'4", 275. Like those are all massive dudes, and Watt's not that. And for him to, I'm not going to say because he's obviously not the best pass rusher in the league, but there's not a lot of guys who are that good with their hands like him. It's kind of like the Laiatu Latu thing, like why I was so high on Latu coming out of the draft. Just he was so refined as a pass rusher. He had all the moves you could think of: a cross chop, spin, swim, win with the hands, win with power, win with leverage, win with speed. Bend. Watt can do all that at a very good level. And I don't think he's as bad of a run defender as some people make it out to be. Like, is he the worst out of the five? Maybe, but he's not a bad run defender. He's still a good run defender. But at the end of the day, why he's overrated is because he's just not Myles Garrett. And he's never going to be Myles Garrett. And that's fine. You don't need to be better than Myles Garrett. Like
we could settle for being the third best Watt brother.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Oh, no, now you're dragging it.
Derek Watt is number one. Derek Watt is number one, in my opinion.
JJ Watt, Derek Watt, TJ Watt. That's my
No. You got to flip Derek and TJ. I mean, flip Derek and JJ, and then you got it.
There we go. But no, I mean, I'm sorry. He's just not Myles. He's not Parsons.
Yo, bro.
I'm taking Crosby though.
Yo, bro. What is you talking about? Jamar Chase overrated, bro? Shut up.
Yeah, no one overrates Jamar Chase.
No.
Now Burrow overrated. That conversation.
Young. Who's your most overrated player in the AFC North?
I'm gonna choose Jalen Warren. I think people acting like he's way better than Najee is crazy work to me. Now, granted, Jalen Warren I think is a good complimentary back, but people acting like get rid of all of Najee's touches and let Jalen Warren just take over the backfield it's absurd to me. I think it's gonna be I'm not gonna say Tony Pollard like because I think Tony Pollard was kind of screwed last year, but I think the way we looked at Tony Pollard with Zeke, because Zeke was taking all of the grinding, the kind of runs. I think there's a difference. Like I think being able to do that is different, and I think Najee's getting the short end of the stick because that's what they're asking him to do. A lot of the dirty work. He's not getting that kind of schemed up.
Y'all be doing too much with Tony Pollard. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all do. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all be dragging.
No. Listen, Trent. I think Tony Pollard is way better than Jalen Warren. I just think the situation compares as.
No, I'm saying
I think those guys are better as
This is why I don't think it's comparable at all. This is why I think the Najee hate is dead ass for people who saw the video where what's the name? It was a screenshot on Twitter. It was a big ass open hole. Najee didn't go through, and then there was another play where he caught an out route, and he was literally nobody was near him, and he still didn't get the first down. Like those, like Najee Harris hate is just narrative hate. Like I swear, it's dead ass narrative hate. You turn on his tape, Najee Harris is damn good. Zeke,
but you have people. No, this is what I'm saying. You have people say that Jalen Warren is better than Najee. I will admit Tony Pollard is better than Zeke. I'm saying in the sense that thinking Tony Pollard taking all of Zeke's carries was just going to turn into a top 5 back was crazy because there is a difference when you're having to go in between the tackles consistently than getting schemed up touches. Tony Pollard.
Okay, let me ask you this thing. Let me ask you about this, right? How you feel about David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs?
I think it's very similar, the same thing. I don't think you can put Gibbs with that workload without him decreasing everything else. I don't think it's the same thing with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram in his prime. Some guys are just better at, I get 15 touches that are schemed up rather than just, hey, go run 20, go run power and make something happen. I don't think that everybody can be that. Everybody can't do that.
Okay, let's say at least things.
Now, listen, Gibbs is still elite. I just think there is an aspect of being able to grind in between the tackles and still keep that. Like who was able to do that we've seen? Tony Pollard takes a step back when he's asked to have a full workload. Alvin Kamara takes a step back.
I think Tony Pollard's a lot of logistics because he just came off that hip injury. So
that's true. That's true. Too.
I want to really see how you do this year at the Titans. You know, he's gonna have Tajay with him, but yeah. But
I just think it's hard for smaller guys to have a full, just fit the physical demand of the position. It's hard to have that full workload. It's rare to be able to do it. That's why you got a guy like CJ2K. He's a rare exception. Jamal Charles, rare exceptions. And they still didn't have like these 250, 300 carry workloads. They were still having smaller workloads. So that's just my opinion.
JJ, on you, who's the most overrated player in the AFC North?
You already know how I feel about Najee Harris, bro. I mean, before the rest of the Flag on Playboys really got into the whole thing with Najee. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about that joke already. You remember I said the whole clip. I was like, yeah, hey, on my next episode of JJ going through Trent's old videos, people disrespecting Najee Harris. I think that was crazy. But one thing I met a young for, he took my reason as to why though, because I think Jalen Warren is very overrated personally. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw in another person in there. I think Jalen Warren is very overrated, just in the whole sense of the word overrated. I think him being a running back behind Najee Harris, yeah, he could be complimentary, but that doesn't mean that he might not be a top 60 back in the NFL. But let's keep it going. The real person I think is honestly overrated is that boy Marlon Humphrey. And Flam didn't really touch on it. I will. I think Marlon Humphrey, yes, he's a very physical corner. Right? You want that in your corners a lot of times too. You know what I'm saying? If you're not physical, you got a lot of other attributes. But I honestly believe that Marlon Humphrey, in the past, he was a top 10 corner, but times have moved on. We've added new people to his league, and he hasn't gotten much better than what he was in the past. That defense as a whole is just a really good defense, but I don't think Marlon Humphrey is just and all pro elite level number one corner anymore. And a lot of people's eyes, they think he is. So yeah, that's really where I stand with that.
All right, JJ, back on you. Actually, I'm gonna go first. The next topic is, of course, who's the most underrated. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna say George Pickens. I think George Pickens is better than a lot of people.
Wrong. You're just wrong. You're like, I hate you.
Because you
want the point.
I did set you up. Not gonna lie. It don't matter. We still agree. So
no, because what? Why though? Like
because I didn't go. I don't usually go. Don't go on these. But I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but you gonna pick the time so you can push your prop. Bro. We're gonna push the same prop, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Gabe, I don't feel like doing most overrated, but what's his name? I genuinely believe though, like George Pickens is better than a lot of people. I want to give him credit. Like for example, we just had a whole George Pickens Waddle debate, and that shit went crazy on my TikTok. And I said underrated, Gaggy, underrated, Q. But I just posted on IG and TikTok, and people make it seem like Waddle's just so much better, and George Pickens is a terrible separator. I think a lot of people just do a lot of narratives on George Pickens because he gets into it with his coaches a lot, like as a lot of people do. But I'm not gonna lie, top 5 hands in the league, phenomenal yak. He's literally the truth, and I'm not gonna lie. He did this shit that he did this season with fucking Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. Shit is like, I don't understand why like George Pickens
Titans legend Mason Rudolph.
Like, yeah, I don't know why he gets the hate that he does, but yeah, I'm going George Pickens. I think he's the most underrated player in the AFC North. But yeah, JJ, you can add on to that.
Hey, let's really get to the facts. I think George Pickens, you know what I'm saying, he is in the top 20 receivers in the NFL. Honestly, you just get him a better quarterback, you know what I'm saying, we're going to really see it. I think you already know how I feel. It's after a point of what your skill set is now what you're going to do with your skill set, and that's how you're going to produce on the field. And that's where George Pickens, you know what I'm saying, as of right now, he produced very well, especially with limited touches. But, you need to get him a better guy, right? You need to get him a better guy that can get him the football and let him, be who he is. So I think if you you get George Pickens a better guy, you know what I'm saying, he's just gonna move up because one, he's gonna be a lot of other people are gonna love him. But not only that, you get to see his skill set be utilized to his full capabilities, and that's why I still think honestly he'll be pushing top 15 in the very near future when he gets some better guys in throwing him the ball his way. Yeah, I think George Pickens is definitely the most underrated player in the AFC North.
Cool. Young, on you.
I feel like we say this every year, but Trey Hendrickson, I mean, the man just goes out there, does his job, produces at a high level. And to be honest, since their Super Bowl run a few years ago, that defense has continuously lost pieces and gotten worse. Yeah. And he's still a very good player. Like that defense, that Super Bowl year, you're talking about Jesse Bates, DJ, like they were a really good defense. Yeah. They're just losing players, just again, money. Everybody wants to get paid. You got to get rid of somebody and you got to get younger. And he's the only wow, that's crazy. he's the only one that's he's the steady point of that. Like if there's something you can rely on him, I think you can rely on him showing up and being a major impact player. But again, he doesn't really get that recognition. I don't think he ever has. So that's my
You know what, JJ? I totally forgot he was in the AFC North, bro. That's who I should have said was the most overrated. Not gonna lie. I should have went on another Justin Fields rant. Because niggas still think that he's still promising. I should have went on that, bro. I'm not gonna do it today. I'm not. Because y'all be giving nah, Gabe, because you not slick. But go ahead, Donnie.
My answer a year ago would have been Logan Wilson, but last year was really up and down from him. So I'm gonna lean off that train. I'm gonna say Sedarius Smith. I haven't heard a single dude talk about this guy since he was on Green Bay. And I'm not saying he's as dominant as he was on Green Bay, but I still think you cannot name 15 edge rushers better than Sedarius Smith. I still don't think you can. Like, listen, sure, he's not a great against the run. Totally get that. Dude, he's just it's kind of like what Young said with Hendrickson. Dude, he just wins pass rush reps. That's all Sedarius Smith does. And people are going to say, well, what hopes when you have Myles Garrett on the other side? Dude, he was doing his thing in Green Bay. Like the production never left. It's still there. He's still producing like a top, at least 15 edge rusher in the league. I mean, he'd be edge one on how many teams? Like a good amount of teams. He'd be the best pass rusher on that team. So I'm going to win Sedarius Smith. I still think the Browns, and I'm going to say this, easily have the best edge duo in football. So yeah, I'm going to say Sedarius Smith.
Matt.
I think the most underrated player in the North is Cam Taylor-Britt. I watched him last season, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm kind of shied away from like ranking corners. I haven't watched as much as I should have, so like I can't tell you definitively where he would rank. But I was watching him a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if there's 15 corners better than him. Don't quote me on that, but like. But just because like I don't really rank corners like that anymore, but Cam Taylor-Britt,
he's the best corner in Cincy. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah. No, that's not even close. But Like I don't hear a word about Cam Taylor-Britt. Like I hear more about Trey Hendrickson than I do Taylor-Britt, and that's saying a lot. Like a lot of these Cincinnati defensive players are underrated, and I think Cam Taylor-Britt needs to get more recognition as one of the better corners in the league.
Champ.
Oh, Young, man, you took my pick. I didn't think nobody was gonna say that. I think Trey Hendricks, man. I know. Look, the AFC North, the blood and guts division, what I call it, has always been full of big names. And when you think about the North, you automatically think about two players. You think about TJ Watt and you think about Myles Garrett. And I think he deserves a lot of recognition because I believe because of those two big names that he's pretty much overshadowed by those two guys. And, and overshadowed by that offense on the Cincinnati Bengals part, even though they ain't got no line with them, which that's a whole nother story for another day. Might as well just have me out there trying to block. Give me $1 million, I'll go out there and move out the way just like they do. But I digress. But I believe in that blood and guts division. He's one of the most underrated pass rushers in that division. And like I stated, I believe it's because, and this is no fault of theirs. They can't help that they're that damn good in the great words of Triple H. I think it's because of Myles Garrett and TJ Watt that he gets lost in the shuffle because he is solid. He's been doing the damn thing for a long time, man.
Flam?
I'm a big trenches guy, and I'm not gonna go with none of my Browns because I'm biased. I love all my guys, but as much as it pains me, bro, I don't like the Steelers, but their left guard, Isaac Sumalo, is a road grader. He is a bulldozer. Every single time that man is out there on a screen, he's putting his helmet in someone's chest and putting them on their ass. Jalen Warren, one of Jalen Warren's breakout runs he had against us, Isaac Sumalo was a very key piece of that. It was if I'm not mistaken, it was like a power play. And he took out a DN, he chipped a DN on the way, hit Joke, and then hit a safety on the way, and then Jalen Warren just breaks. And then from then on, I just watched every Steeler game, and I just love the way the guy plays. He's a freaking monster. I feel like that's one offensive line piece the Steelers can focus on as far as rebuilding that offensive line, especially with the departure of the Pouncey bro a while back. Offensive line hasn't really had much chemistry there, but I feel like you can definitely build around Isaac Sumalo. The dude's a beast. I love road grading guards who can pull, run, go out there and put foot to ass. So I'm a huge fan of Isaac Sumalo. I really wish we could have got him, but hey, it is what it is.
Lamb, back on you. Who do you think is going to have the best offense in the AFC North?
I mean, it's got to be the Ravens, right? The Ravens are the sure thing. They picked up Derrick Henry. They don't have to worry about, not trying to be rude or anything. They don't have to worry about a running back tearing their ACL in the preseason. Derrick Henry's been wear and tear. The guy's going to be ready week 1. That's definitely going to help out the receiver. The only thing that worries me about the Ravens offense is the receiving core. I'd rather have question marks about the receiving core than the quarterback because I believe in Zay Flowers. I definitely think that he's a playmaker. That is him and Mandrews. It's a great duo to have. It's worked for Mahomes, but although Lamar isn't a Mahomes-like quarterback, Derrick Henry is definitely going to take a lot of that pressure. You can't just have, one free safety now. You got to have an extra you're going to have to pick your poison, so to speak. You're going to have to either worry about Mandrews and Zay because Zay can take the top off. Mandrews can find the hole just like any other tight end. And Derrick Henry, he's going to beat up, especially in the second half. Derrick Henry's motor is insane. I know he's getting older, but I definitely think the Ravens are going to have the best offense in that division for sure.
All right. Champ?
Number one, I'm going to agree with Flim. Am I saying your name right, bro?
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with him and say that, Baltimore. But I will say this. Don't understate what Pittsburgh is going to do. I will say that because no matter who their quarterback is, because they're going to find a way to do a little something. I don't think it's not going to be a lot of something. It's going to be a little something. Like I said, don't underestimate what they're going to do. I think if either one of those guys, whether it be Justin Fields or Russ, if they could just be consistent, not just be world beaters. We're not asking either one of them. If they could just be consistent, I think that offense is going to do something. Like I said, it's not going to be a little. It ain't going to be a lot of something. It's going to be a little something. But I digress. Baltimore, because Baltimore because not only Todd Monken was my old offensive coordinator back in the University of Georgia. What is his specialty? Running that ball. Now you have a doable running back that you don't necessarily have to interchange. You don't have to worry about him being off the field for a long period of time. He's been pretty much doable for a long period of time. And why did they lose in the AFC Championship? Because Todd Monken did not run the damn ball. They only ran the ball 9 times. And for a rushing team who led the league in rushing to only rush the ball 9 times is flat out asinine if you really want to think about it. It's just like Marty Schottenheimer not running the ball. It's asinine. But now that he has a back that can not only take a little bit of heat off of Lamar Jackson, but, you know, he can throw a little trickery in there as well, I think that offense don't go pretty good. I'm not, like I said, the only concern, like I said, I'm going to bite you a little bit, Flam, if you will, but that receiving core, as far as the wide receivers are concerned, I'm not too impressed with it. It's good, but the tight ends, I think they need to run a little bit more 2 tight end fronts because I think Likely and Andrews are gonna do a hell of a job. If you run a lot of 2-man tight end fronts, and I think that'll help to bring them. If you were looking to kind of sneak Zay Flowers out there a little bit, I think that'll bring some of them DBs in if they're looking for the run or looking for those tight ends. But I expect a lot more 2 tight end fronts. I expect them to run the ball a hell of a lot more, and I expect them to do some big things. But like I said, don't underestimate Pittsburgh. Like I said, I don't think they're going to do a lot of something. I think they're going to do a little something. Like I said, and that's the only thing those two have to do, whether it be Justin Fields or Russ. They just have to stay consistent. They just have to stay consistent.
We're asking a lot, champ.
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to understate what Russ could do because we saw what he did in the second half of the season in that offense that he was on. They was on the verge of making the playoffs. So he wasn't playing bad. He wasn't playing just horrible like the media was portraying it to be. They was on the verge of a playoff berth out there in Denver until Sean Payton decided to pull the plug. Let's not forget that. So he was playing pretty much consistent. They wasn't asking him to do too much. And guess what? He has a hell of a lot more weapons on this Pittsburgh offense as far as running the ball and passing the ball than he ever did out there in Denver. Plus, you know, he has a huge target by the name of Darnell Washington. I think that's going to come in huge handy going down the stretch late. So Darnell Washington, look out for him too.
Matt?
I'm like stuck between the Ravens and the Bengals right now. I'm still pretty high on this Bengals offense, but it's like, I mean, I think the safer pick would be the Ravens, but like just to be different, I'm going to say the Bengals. Their new OC, I think his name is like Pitcher or something, but like I looked at his resume and he's been with the Bengals for a long time, and I expect him to implement the same type of thing that Callahan had in place. Now, the Bengals did lose Tyler Boyd to Tennessee, and T. Higgins, it's like uncertain right now. I expect T. Higgins to still play eventually. But even still, if he doesn't, I think Jermaine Burton is okay to fill in that role. Like, it's not going to be anything crazy, but I still think, you know, obviously you got Burrow and Jamar Chase. I think they got an upgrade from Joe Mixon and Zach Moss. I just think their ability to make big time plays to stretch the field. I think that's why I'm still like sort of wanting to say Cincy, but like, yeah, it's like a one.
I have a genuine question.
Yeah,
Joe Mixon is that bad? What were we saying? Zach Moss is better than him?
Oh yeah, of course.
You dead ass?
Yeah, I'm being serious.
The damn shame, bro. Donnie, go ahead, bro.
Oh god.
There's no way Joe Mixon will be that bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's Joe Mixon is Moss is third. Like, what the fuck?
I need a line. Okay. What are we picking again?
Best offense.
Oh, best offense?
Yeah.
I'm only gonna say Cincy because, and I honestly, I'm gonna be real. I don't think this is a hot take anymore. I just flat out think the Ravens have the worst line in this division. This offensive line sucks, dude. Like, I love Linderbaum, top 3 center easily. Dude, Ronnie Stanley has not been himself, man. He's been hurt a lot, and when he has been on the field, he hasn't been that good. They lost Kevin Zeitler. They traded away Morgan Moses, and the replacement is Daniel Falele. I don't know if you want that, man. Like, I think this O-line stinks. I think Cincy clearly has the better weapons. Now, obviously, it does depend on if Burrow stays healthy. And Tom Monken is great. Don't get me wrong. Easily the best OC in that division. But I'm just going to lean Cincy just because of the fact that I think this O-line is going to be worse than Cincy's, which is crazy to say because Cincy's O-line has been bad for so long. But, dude, this Ravens O-line just stinks. So, but if you said Baltimore, I'm not really going to get that.
Young?
I'm going to say I think it's Cincy clearly. But if the Browns get Aiyuk and keep Cooper, they would clearly have the best offense. But I think it's like what are we forgetting about? Like this Cincy offense, like what have
we just haven't seen Burrow in a while. That's why.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
No, I agree. I agree, but that's just what people are saying.
We're talking about Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Like, what are we? I'm confused.
T signed the franchise.
The O-line's better.
Yeah, and they lost they lost Tyler Boyd, but Jermaine Burton should slide right into that role as a
Charlie Jones.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing, at least. Like this whole debate with them.
I think the coaching change is like the biggest thing for me.
I want to see. Hold on. I want to see.
It doesn't concern me that much, but it's still like a question mark.
I just think the receivers
wide receiver
Baltimore has.
I know. That's why I'm leaning Cincinnati.
Yeah, so I mean, that's me. I think it's if they're healthy, they're good.
I want to see who's the projected wide receiver 3 right now because I do want to see if it's Burton or if it's someone.
I think it's Andre Iosivas.
It's the Andre guy. I'm not going to
really.
Last name.
Yeah,
really?
he's more of a Jawan Jennings. I mean, I guess he's been there a while, but yeah.
Nah, he can fly though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, 6'3". He's a big body.
On the Bengals, no. It's Trenton Irwin is currently listed as the starting slot receiver.
It's going to be Jermaine
Burton. And then the backup slot receiver is Charlie Jones.
It'll be Jermaine Burton soon. It's all right.
I think it's either going to be
they're about to start spamming Jamar Chase on the slot. That's what they're about to start doing.
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Yeah.
What was I about to say? JJ, it's on you.
Yeah, I mean, everyone agrees. I think, for the most part, everyone agrees. I think the Bengals would definitely be the best offense in the AFC North, and that's been like that for a minute. It's just regarding health and all that. I think the main thing though is, like Young said, if they get Aiyuk, but even if they don't get Aiyuk, I think we still got to factor in. It's just we don't know what's gonna happen with Deshaun. However, Deshaun, fares in this next, season, man, he's bad, and we don't. There's nothing to talk about with this offense. But if he's good, or even above average, this is still a very good offense, man. You know what I'm saying? We can see a resurgence for Jerry Jeudy. We can see you already know who Amari Cooper is. We still waiting on Elijah Moore to really become. I mean, I guess this I know a really good wide receiver 3. He was solid last season, but a lot more could be asked from him. So yeah, you still got David Njoku too, who's one of the best tight ends in the league. So I mean, with all those things combined, I think that's what makes them like that.
Yeah, the only reason I don't think my Browns will have the best offense is because, of course, the Deshaun Watson big ass question mark. But then also a lot of people like between our offensive coordinator and our head coach fighting for who's calling plays. There was a lot of times where there was just like questionable play calls, like 3rd and 9 halfback draws against defense who seen it coming a half away. First play, you're running a halfback screen, and Kyle Hamilton is spying the running back. The offensive play calling is also worrying me, even if Deshaun Watson does get it clicking, but he's best when he does improvise and use his legs and roll out of the pocket. But it's the scripted plays, because we always dig ourselves in a hole early. That's what's going to worry me. That's the only reason I don't have Browns like top 2 offense in that division. So yeah,
I'm with you, but I also do think now that they've fully just gone back to the fact that Stefanski is going to be the one that's running the show when it comes to play calling. I mean, I think you just see a more grounded approach when it comes to who's telling who what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah. Even though I got the Bengals, I've been saying this for a while now, and he's finally happened since Derrick Henry's with the Ravens. We're about to see one of the greatest QB rushing duo, like QB running back duos of all time. what Lamar and Derrick Henry about to do this year, that shit is. I don't care that you want to say Derrick Henry lost a step. He still was, to me, was still pretty damn good with one of the worst offensive lines in the league. I'm not gonna lie. Him and Lamar.
He's gonna have one of the worst lines in the league again.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I'm not gonna, I don't think it's gonna be that bad at all.
Yeah, it won't be
Lamar, and Lamar with Derrick Henry. Case closed. Like, I don't even think like it should be a conversation. But yeah, Burrow and Chase healthy also have the best offense in the AFC. That's just what it is. I'm not gonna lie. Unless the Ravens get a bona fide wide receiver one, Deshaun Watson starts bugging out, they're always gonna have the best offense in the AFC North. But Flam, back on you. Best defense.
It's Cleveland. No regression. We got everybody back. We got all 3 DBs. We got all safeties. We got all interior linemen. I had Michael Hall going a lot higher than where he went in the drafts. So I'm surprised that we got him, hometown Ohio State guy. I would like to see Zadarius Smith turn it up just a little bit more. He did great. He played all 16 games or all 7. Well, he played 16 games out of 17 last season. I would like to see him play all 17. I think he had like 6.5 sacks. I want to see him turn it up a little more. His motor kind of goes out in the second half, but I mean, Joker is going to be a beast. And I forgot the name of the guy we got from, I want to say Mississippi State. Boy's a dog. I think he was SEC Defensive Player of the Year. The fact that we got him in the 3rd, 4th round, of course he had character issues. That's why he fell. But I think it's Cleveland. I think it's Cleveland for sure. I mean, you got Jim Schwartz, the freaking Dr. Evil as far as defensive coordinators goes. And hopefully we can keep him for maybe another season or two. I'm surprised he didn't get a head coaching offer or any calls last offseason. But, yeah, I think Cleveland's going to have the best defense for sure.
Champ?
I'll piggyback and say Cleveland. I mean, especially if they don't end up losing anybody on the defensive side. I mean, they're one of the main teams that was able to keep the team together. I don't know how great Baltimore. I don't know how impactful Geno Stone leaving from the Baltimore Ravens, who had that historically great defense, how impactful that is going to be. Him leaving from that Ravens defense going over to Pittsburgh is going to be. So I got to say, Browns first. I'll say Pittsburgh a solid second, and then Baltimore third. But I mean, can you really go wrong in this division considering all of this firepower they have on the defensive side? But yeah.
Yo, Champ, wait, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers offense over Ravens?
No, you talk offense or defense?
Oh, I'm sorry. Defense, yeah, defense.
The thing is, like I said, I don't know how impactful that them losing Geno Stone is going to be. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. I don't know how impactful how much impact that's going to take away from that historically great.
I think losing they DC more than Geno Stone is.
Yeah, and him as well. I was getting to that. So I don't know how much of an impact that's going to have on that historically great defense, because I know this better than anybody. Once you start switching coordinators, it can get real bad real quick. You can see that on the offense and the defensive side. So I mean, I don't know how impactful the loss of Geno Stone is going to be, and the loss of their defensive coordinator in Tom McDonald is going to be, because the thing is, like I said, the Steelers defense is always going to be good, but I don't know how much impact that it's going to have them taking that key piece away from the Baltimore Ravens. But like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if you see all 4 of these teams top 10. If you really want me to be honest with you, with the amount of talent on each and every last one of these teams in the blood and guts division, it wouldn't surprise me if all of them ended up top 10.
All right, JJ.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say the Ravens until you brought up a good point that Todd McDonald, you know what I'm saying, he's on the Seahawks now. So I was going to say them, honestly, because I think them and the Browns are like right next to each other personally. But yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely say the Browns right now, just because I don't know what they're coordinating, like what their defense in general is gonna look like. Their defense is gonna be good, yes, but what it boils down to is how good can your coordinator add his own stuff and still replicate, which I did last year. So I just got to see what he's going to do. And if he does they Triple Crown again, man, there's nothing does not tell me that they're not one of the best, if not the best defense in the NFL. Because they ain't sure looking like that right next to the Browns, man, fighting neck and neck last year. So it's really all.
Matt,
I just want to say real quick, JJ, I think it's hilarious how I think I'm the only one that noticed that you said Tom McDonald.
I said Todd. Was it not? Is it not his name?
His name
is
Mike.
It is Mike McDonald. You know what? You're right.
Oh, you're thinking of Todd Munkin. You got the name.
No. He's right. He's right.
I heard Tom McDonald, and Tom McDonald is a different story, but but yeah, no, I think the best defense in that division, I think it's going to be the Browns. I'm not going to really overthink it. Jim Schwartz still there. Myles Garrett is obviously like one-man wrecking crew. Add to that Denzel Ward, JOK, Zadarius Smith on the other side. Like the linebacker core is like the only part where I could say like Devin Bush, Jordan Hicks. Like, okay, there's like a couple questions. It doesn't concern me that much. And then even still, you got guys like Emerson and Newsome. Like just everything about the Browns, from coaching to the players. That's going to be the best defense in the division.
Donnie?
They were the number one in terms of EPA allowed, in terms of yards allowed per game or passing yards allowed per game. Browns were the number one team last year. They didn't really lose anybody. The Browns and the Ravens were fighting over the best defense in the league last year. Whether you want to say whatever team was better last year, that doesn't matter. Mike McDonald's gone. Browns didn't lose anybody. Give me the Browns.
Young, who do you think about the best defense in AFC North?
Yeah, I'm going to say the Browns too. Just Baltimore is going to have a lot of their similar personnel, but again, McDonald was a wizard. I mean, what he turned that defense into, how he utilized Kyle Hamilton. It's just hard to replace a coordinator that utilizes all his players like that and have a guy come in and do the exact same thing. Like most guys want to have their own input on the defense, how they, their own, what makes them different. And then there's always, a coordinator changes. There's always more tweaks that another guy does that another guy might not do. So I'm going to go with the Browns just because, again, even last year, you could argue the Browns had I wouldn't say better, but an equal defense, a defense just as talented, and I think they're just as good. So I'm going to go with the Browns.
I looked up real quick. I looked up who the new Ravens DC is. The second youngest defensive coordinator in the league, Zach Orr, is going to be a first time play caller. So
yeah,
listen, he's going to be given a lot of talent. So
yeah, he could be a beast, but
he could.
The way McDonald even how he utilized Davion Clowney.
31 years old, man.
Kyle hit a career high in sacks last year, and he played half the season.
Yeah, just how he utilized all his players and maximized them. Like I think he maximized Kyle Hamilton. Yes. I just think, again, if you stray away from that, you kind of lose a little bit.
That's how he maximized Matabuke.
Wasn't Zach Orr in the league like a couple years ago?
I think.
Not too long ago.
Dude, he's 31, and he just turned 31.
Jesus
so
Christ.
He's young.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure the only coordinator who's younger than him, I think it's Arizona's DC. Because Nick Rallis is he's freaking 29, which is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what's his name's calling those plays anyway.
So
yeah.
Young, back on you. Breakout player in the division.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Chase Brown. I think he's gonna be able to showcase a lot because of the talent around him. I think he's more explosive than Joe Mixon. I think you're gonna be able to see a guy. Again, you have Jamar Chase out there. T. Higgins out there. You can't load the box against his team. And if Joe Burrow's any kind of back to where he was, he's going to have a lot of open lanes. And if he can just exploit them, he's going to be an explosive back. So I think that's my breakout guy offensively. So it's easy, but I just think he's in this perfect situation to just
Don.
For me, it's going to be Trenton Simpson. How he fell to pick 86, I have no idea. Like, did I like Jack Campbell as a prospect more than him? I did, but you're going to tell me Jack Campbell went top 20 and Trenton Simpson went 86? Are you kidding me? He had all the talent in the world, and he was able to sit behind Roquan and Patrick Queen for a year. I have all the confidence in the world in him. He's a hell of an athlete. Yeah, he's a smaller guy, so not the best in the run, but just a natural athlete with amazing instincts and coverage. So I like his chances here, especially with him starting. So give me Trenton.
Man, can he fly? And keep praising my Clemson boys, Donnie. I know you was talking crazy the other day. Keep praising my Clemson boys.
There it is.
Keep praising my Clemson boys, man. That's all I gotta say.
Anyways. Matt,
anyways.
Matt's on you.
Having a hard time thinking of like a real breakout player. I was gonna say Trenton Simpson, but I'm not trying to like repeat. This guy's been in the league for a minute now, and this is like kind of LSU bias. I've always liked Grant Delpit. I think he's always been a solid player. Like in coverage, it's like nothing really crazy, but I don't know. I'm not going to die on that hill. I just like Grant Delpit.
And Trent, I know you're going to remember this. Never forget when Grant Delpit stole Jeff Okuda's Jim Thorpe Award. Never.
Okuda's. He stole Derek Stingley's Jim Thorpe Award.
Stingley, Okuda, don't matter. He stole from both of them.
I'm not gonna lie. After talking to Xavier McKinney, they Loki stole his award. I'm not gonna lie. That Loki was his.
I was gonna say it's McKinney's. If you really want to talk,
it Loki might have been Xavier McKinney's. I'm not.
I would put honestly, who would I have given it to? I don't know.
As long as we
I
just
could probably think of 5 guys over Grant Delpit.
I think
shut
because I think I'm not gonna lie. I think Delpit the year before should have won the Thorpe.
Yes,
I forgot who won.
yes,
It.
that was his big year.
What did you say?
Who won the year before?
2018. Was that Josh Jackson?
Yeah. From Iowa. I think that was.
Okay, well, the reason he won is because he got 3 picks versus Ohio State.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Delpit that year before should have won the Thorpe, and then the next year was a drop off. But they kind of were like, we kind of robbed you last year. Here it is this year. But then they robbed Stingley, in my opinion. Xavier McKinney too. They robbed a lot of people. That's why I hate those awards. There's a lot of politics with it.
All right, JJ.
Oh, it wasn't Josh Jackson. It was DeAndre Baker.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was DeAndre Baker.
It's hindsight. Hold on. Even though the shit that happened to him in the league, it's kind of hindsight.
So good at Georgia.
He was
so good at Georgia.
He was locking up, but
no, I would have given it to
Champ, you want to go before me?
DeAndre Baker was a thug.
No, I gotta head out, bro.
Well, because
I appreciate you, Champ.
Well, it's because I remember
you guys keep doing a good job, man.
Yes, sir.
It's because I remember Jackson never won it because I remember they gave it to Minka the year that he came out. So it was Minka won, and I was like, no way, who won in 2018? It was DeAndre Baker. He was so good at Georgia, dude.
All right, so I think it's on what, JJ?
It's me. So my breakout candidate for the AFC North, I think Daxton Hill is about to break out, and he's really about to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be, not for real. I think he's just about to, he's about to do some like wild stuff. Honestly, he's one of the better safeties in the league. I think he can make another leap. You know what I'm saying? Really start pushing that top 12 talks. You know what I'm saying? Try to get himself in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? All of this is just keep on getting down and putting your head down and keep on working, man. You watched him last year. He was very good. He was actually a very underrated part of that defense, that Cincy defense. Y'all talked about Trey Hendrickson. Actually, is Trey Hendrickson? Do y'all know Trey Hendrickson is going to be fully back for the season? Because he's still talking about him contracts and stuff like that. I don't know.
We haven't heard much about it, so I have no idea.
I remember he requested a trade a couple months ago, like the day
I remember that. That's why I was like, I don't know. So if that's the case, though, if that is the case, all I gotta say is, bro, Daxton Hill has even more of a workload to handle, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to show y'all. I mean, he's done so far. It's hard to replace Jesse Bates, bro. You know what I'm saying? But right now, he's done a pretty solid job at being able to, try to fill in those shoes, those very big shoes to fill in, man. So, I got to give Daxton Hill.
It's on Flam.
Yeah. My breakout player originally was gonna be Roman Wilson, but I know he was just carted off recently. I think like a week ago. I just felt like the wide receiver 2 in Pittsburgh was wide open, and I feel like dude has super reliable hands, comes from a great pedigree of the Harbaugh tree. I felt like he just kind of fit that offense perfectly with Pickens as a wide receiver 1. Hopefully his injury isn't too serious.
Sounds like he's all right. It sounds like
yeah. So that's good. I think he got rolled up on or something like that. But this, I feel like this is kind of low-hanging fruit, but I feel like his ceiling is insane. I think Kyle Hamilton's gonna even be greater than what he was last year. I know McDonald was using him, kind of like scheming up things for him. Just watching him, dude has the closing speed is insane. I know he didn't time well, which is kind of why he fell in the draft.
40 times aren't real.
Yeah, I don't give a freak. The fact that he fell that far to Baltimore pissed me off as a Browns fan. I think Kyle Hamilton is going to solidify himself as a top 5, top 10 defensive player in the league next year. I don't know what Zach Orr's defensive aura is or what he's planning, but I feel like you got to just kind of just let Kyle go. Kind of just let him do his own thing. Kind of let him just throw the pit bull out there and let him go get something to eat. I think Kyle Hamilton is definitely going to be like that boy this season. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Are you talking like unanimous best safety in the league?
Yeah, like it's not even going to be funny. Like he's
gonna clear Antoine.
Yeah.
When was the last time we would all say that a safety was like a top 5 defensive player in the league though? Like accounting for like positional value, like
probably Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
Why can't you say Darren James?
You could say Derwin that rookie year.
You could say Derwin's rookie year, I guess. Yeah, that's fine.
Like just consistent. I think Earl Thomas. Peak Earl Thomas might have been like a top 5.
I think Eric.
I would need to look into it, but
Eric Berry is another name. Yeah, that's another name. For a while.
Front 7.
The safety position has been somewhat weak over the last few years, and then thankfully we've gotten Kyle Hamilton and Antoine Winfield to help us out.
Yep.
Okay, Starks, you're next, buddy.
Flam, back on you. Team, you expect to regress.
Regress?
Yeah, regress.
Cincinnati. I just don't believe in them. They offensive line, I know they got a little bit better, but I mean the bar was so goddamn low last season. If you can't keep Joe Burrow off his back, what's the point of having Jamar Chase and T. Higgins back on the team anyway? I do feel like I don't know. I love Joe Burrow. I think he's a baller. I think when it matters, when it's time to clutch up and get you a goddamn W, he's going to step up every single time. He's never shook. But the thing is, it's the regular season. It's the games that they should have won. Like, it's the games why Cincinnati didn't run the table a couple years ago when they I think they made the AFC Championship. Even the Super Bowl run, I feel like the regular season they should have been a 1 or 1 seed if I'm not mistaken. I think Cincinnati regresses though. Joe Burrow can't even seem to get over the Cleveland hump, and I think he's 1-5, 1-6 against us. I don't see Cincinnati as being that powerhouse we used to see him. That defense isn't the same anymore. Defense has a shit ton of holes, shit ton of question marks. Cheeto left to Tennessee. It's a lot of question marks for Cincinnati. You don't know what T. Higgins' mindset is going to be like going into the season. Of course, the departure of Tyler Boyd, but I don't think that's too much of it. But I definitely feel like Cincinnati is going to regress. I know they lost Joe Burrow last season. I wouldn't say regress as far as record, but just their star power level, their powerhouse level. I don't see them as a top 5, top 7 team anymore. So,
Donnie,
I'll keep it very sweet and simple. The Steelers made the playoffs last year. There's no way in hell they're going to do it again. I got the Steelers going 7-10. So yeah, that's right.
We say this every year, by the way.
Look at the last 8 games. They could go 0-8. They could very well go 0-8.
We said this last year, by the way.
We did, and this year it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen this year, I'll never say it again. I'll go ahead and put that on record.
That was me last year.
If they have a winning record this year, I will never count out Pittsburgh ever again. There's no way. There's just no way. Their schedule is so hard in the second half of the season, man. It's way too hard. There's no – that may have been – that 8-game stretch might be the hardest 8-game stretch I've ever seen in my life. It might be. So, yeah. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Congrats on your first losing season. You need one, though. You need one.
All right. Young?
Yeah, I'm going to say Pittsburgh, too. There's no way that they're over 5. Like, if they're over 500 – Mike Tomlin might have sold his soul. Like, there's no way that with that roster and that division, just the AFC in general, if they come out of the end of this season with 9 wins, Mike Tomlin sold his soul. Because there's no way. There's no way.
There's no
way that he's going to have an over 500 record. There's absolutely no way. Not now. If they swing a trade for somebody, with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields at quarterback, they can't do it. I don't believe it.
Dude, Baltimore, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
If he comes out, if I'm telling you, what's the day of the last game, Donnie?
The day of the last game, January 5th.
If January 5th he has 9 wins, he sold his soul. It's that simple. There's no other reason.
If he has 9 wins, I'll call him a top 5 coach of all time because there's just no way it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Donnie.
No, seriously. If he does this, he would be a solidified top 5 coach. He would be pushing top 3 if he can do this.
Yeah.
I'm not even
hold me to it, and I will praise him for years and years to come.
No,
because especially in this league where quarterback play is king. Like you look at the best teams in the league have elite quarterback play. This man's quarterback play is about to be bottom 5 again. If he has a positive record, that's insane. Like that's just ridiculous. In 2024, that's ridiculous.
All right, JJ, on you.
Yeah, well, dang, that's crazy. Yo, what? I would definitely hold y'all to that, man. I can't even lie. And I already think he's a top 10 head coach of all time, but shoot. You got the Browns, you got the Bengals, you got the Ravens, you got the Steelers. I think the uncommon, I think we can see a slight regression from one team. That's the team with purple, bro. I think, like Young stated earlier, and like I said, it kind of caught me off guard because I didn't think about it. But once McDonald left, one, I don't think their defense is going to fall off some type of cliff, so I don't think I'm going that far. Nor do I think that their new defensive coordinator is just some slouch because we don't know what he's capable of yet, right? So for all we know, he could go and make them even a better defense than what McDonald already made them. Who knows? But as of right now, the realistic answer would be, for them at least, is to say that they would be slightly a little bit worse than what they were, if not on par with their defense. If they're on par, then they didn't regress. But in my opinion, I think they'll be a little bit worse just because of the new play calling situation and who they got coming in and really handling them. Like I said, and Young stated this too in a different way, I think a lot of coordinators go in and they try to replicate what you do, but then put their own little spin on it, right? They try to do their own little twist on it and see how it goes. And who knows how that's going to work? And so that's the only reason why I think that they might have a slight regression. It might not happen, but I do think it can happen for sure.
All right, I'm going to be honest too.
Oh, go ahead.
If Mike Tomlin if he goes over 500, bro, we're going to have some real conversations about Bill Belichick. Like, I'm being
No,
because I'm going to be honest.
Dude, look at this schedule.
Let him go. I don't care who's on the schedule. He's not touching Belichick.
Hold on. Let him get it off. Let him get it off.
Let him cook. Go ahead. Let him cook.
We're going to have no disrespect to Belichick. Like, he is
brilliant
offensive, like brilliant defensive mind. But, bro, you can't, like, come on.
Unless, this man is going to have look at this team. And the Browns and the Bengals all just get hurt. Unless they're like their teams are falling.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Unless that happens, there's no way they go.
Like I don't see them in a world where they are a wild card team.
No shot.
Like, I don't see the world where they are, unless
I don't either.
A lot of these teams just fall apart. Like, yeah, because
you know what? Hold on, Jan. Let me ask you something real quick. What do you think? And sorry for interrupting you. What's more likely, the Steelers getting the number 1 pick or them making the wild card?
I'm not gonna lie. Them making a wild card is probably more likely than they get the number 1 pick. That roster is way too good to be.
I agree.
Like, number 1 pick bad.
I agree.
But I don't see a world where.
What about top 5? What about top 5?
I still think their roster is too good. Like I don't think their roster is that bad. I just think the quarterback play is horrible, and I think that's. Again, I don't know how they snuck in last year because guys got hurt, but bro, because Bill Belichick has had a similar situation where the defense is pretty good, quarterback plays bad. And, I mean, you look at the last few years, and it was horrible. If Mike Tomlin can do it in the same conference, we're gonna need to have some conversations. Maybe it's about Mike Tomlin. I don't know. He might be top
Not
3.
we. I will not be participating in those discussions.
I will. If he does this, man.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, it's on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say an answer that nobody's said yet. I don't think anybody in this division regresses. I just posted my predictions on my TikTok, and y'all might say this is crazy. I think the Steelers do finish last in the division, but they finished 9th.
Bro, there's no
like I understand that like the probability of that is like
regression 9 and 8,
incredibly low.
I had them going 7-10, and I thought I was like being generous.
Okay, no. When I look at like the way that it makes sense, like okay, it's like I keep like the same standard for every team. Like when I'm making these predictions, right? I look at the coach, I look at the roster, offense, defense. You know, who have they lost? Who have they gained? Who did they get through the draft? Except for the Steelers. Mike Tomlin is a freaking wizard. He does it every year. Cool. I'm telling you, like, I'm not like Donnie, you just said it a second ago. If he does it this year, I'm going to stop saying it next year.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's what I said last year. And I'm standing on that. Like
that was me last year too. I'm
you
done.
know, and I will.
No. Like I'm done trying to say that like the Steelers like fell off.
And I'll say this. You know what? I think there's a small world where they could go 500, and I think it's just because of the fact that I think it's like a 1%. It's like a 1% chance. But the one thing I will give Pittsburgh credit for is that this is the best offensive line they've had since the AB Big Ben days, like without question. Troy Patanu, Amarius Mims as your tackle duo is great. James Daniels, what's his name? Isaac Samalo, the other guard, great. And then Zach Frazier, he's going to be a rookie. He's not a high ceiling center, but there's just no way in hell if you watch the All-22, there's just no way in hell he's going to be a bad football player. So it could be a top 10 offensive line in the league. That's the only way I could see this offense being good with that type of quarterback play. That's it.
Here's the thing though, is that like we need to understand that like even in that like 8-game stretch or however long it is, we don't know what that's going to look like for the Steelers. The Steelers could be favored in those games. We don't know how many players are going to get hurt. We have no clue. We just don't know.
Mike, if all these players are hurt that you're talking about, Mike Tomlin sold his soul for that.
Bro,
he's actually working black magic, and you know what? Then my prediction will be
he might be. He might be cooking something up. I don't know.
All right, so
but look, actually, hold up. Can we really get to the facts, Donnie? Think about this real quick. You're saying they're gonna go 7-10, and you just gave them a guy that at the very least, knows how to run the football, bro. And you got Justin Fields, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, even though he's overrated, and George Pickens on an offense where all you have to do is run the football, and then what he's gonna do? He's gonna force feed George Pickens with a little quick slant so he can take it 90-some yards. You know what I'm saying?
You know what offense you just described?
The Tennessee Titans.
That too, but no, you just described last year's Arizona. Run the ball and then just give the ball to one offensive player because that's all we have.
They have their offensive weapons are better than y'all's though. That's the thing. So
their quarterback sucks.
Yeah, the quarterback play is
shoot. Last season they didn't have Kyler Murray until what? Week 9, week 8. So let's really get to the facts. All you gotta do, and even though it's gonna be obvious, you throw Justin Fields in there when it's time to run that football, boy, run that quick triple option. It's over with. I'm sorry, I don't care. It's over with. It's literally over with. There's no one stopping that. And just like I said, the offensive line is good. The offensive line is good, bro. Come on, I'm sorry, Donnie. I actually want them because I told my brother this too because he's a Steelers fan. I'm like, bro, y'all have been mediocre for years. Y'all never lose. Yeah, I mean, y'all never have a losing season, but y'all never really go above that, right? But the thing is, sadly enough, them doing that, the reason why it is because they always find some type of way to win these games, right? They find a way because of we still have this year. Let's just make this work. Let's make it happen. It's going to happen this way. Mike Tomlin does it. So, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Arthur Smith trio is going to be feeding families. That's all I got to say in Pittsburgh, bro. So, that's really what it is, bro.
All right.
Black
all
man.
Right, so, before you head out, Matt, start with you. Division standings.
My division standings. Okay. I think the Ravens win the division again. I think the Browns are going to be second in that division. I think the Bengals are going to miss the playoffs and win 11 games.
What?
And then,
Wait, what? Yo, what?
give me one second. Let me go to my playoff.
What?
Well, let me just tell you the scenario.
Missing the games with 11, missing the playoffs with 11 wins is wild.
Hold on, real quick.
Wait a minute.
Hey, man, hold on. This is a junior question. You think this division is going to be like the 2008 where the Pats were 11-5 and they didn't make the playoffs?
I think it's going to be very similar to that, yeah. And I know that that's like a bold like that's
very bold.
Probably not going to happen. But when I'm looking at I don't know, it's just the way that my standings worked out. I think the Ravens go 14-3. I think the Browns go 14-3. The Bengals go 11-6, and the Steelers go 9-8.
I'll take it.
That's going to be. Well, yeah, I know.
Hey, bro. Hey, if that should actually happen, bro.
Is that going to happen? No, absolutely not. That's just works.
If that happens, you're doing black magic. I'm gonna be honest.
Now he's doing it, right?
There is no way. No way.
Yeah, that's crazy. JJ, on you.
Okay. Let's be real. I'm gonna go out here and spit a little super hot fire, man, because I believe in Joe Burrow. So Bengals number 1. You know what I'm saying? You get the Ravens coming in at number 2. Shoot. Actually, let me give you a record prediction too. I got the Bengals coming in. Yes, I do think they're gonna win 11 games, but not being the third in the what's it called. I also think that the Ravens. Are gonna win 10 games right there. Maybe 11. So they'll be 10-7, and the Bengals will be 11-6. I also do believe that the Browns will be a team that can go 9-8. Yeah, for sure. And if not, go 10-7 as well. And then I think that for sure, for sure. Sorry, Mike Tomlin, you better not prove me wrong, because this is what happens. You tell them, you say the thing y'all always do, and then you change it up. But y'all will be going 9-8, if not higher than that. So there we go. That's it right there.
Young.
I think Cincy wins the division.
Cook.
I think Baltimore comes in second. I think Cleveland comes in third. I think all three of them make the playoffs. And I think Pittsburgh comes in last.
What's their record?
I think Cincy probably wins 12, Baltimore 11, Cleveland 10 or 11, Pittsburgh 6 or 7. So however that shapes up with losses.
Donnie?
With the predictions I made, last place I have the Steelers going 7-10. I have the Browns getting the 7 seed going 10-7. I have the Bengals getting the 6 seed at 11-6, and in a very narrow 11-6, I have Baltimore getting the 4 seed. I think they take the division.
Lamb?
I got Ravens winning. I got Ravens going 13-4. Second, I got the Browns going 11-6. I have the Steelers going 10-7, and then I have Bengals going 8-9.
Yes. Brother.
Mike Tomlin, bro. I've been watching it since I was a wee lad, bro. Listen, Mike Tomlin's gonna pull some crazy wins out of his ass like he always does. It doesn't make sense. Trust me, I know. But
I'm telling you why.
Season.
This is what you know why now. If
Mike
it happens
Tomlin,
this year, you know why.
He pulls some shit out of his ass every freaking year, bro. Like 2 or 3 wins. So you got to just throw those onto the win column, man. They don't make playoffs though, because I feel like the AFC East is going to be very. I feel like they're going to get 2 teams out of there, 2 or 3 teams out of there. So, yeah.
All right, bet, man. That's going to do it. Appreciate everybody.
Hey, come on now. Hold on. We need your predictions, man.
My prediction. All right, my predictions. So I'm gonna keep the same logic I've been doing with the Bears and the Jets. Not gonna lie, I think Deshaun Watson is gonna be 50% better than what he was. So therefore, I'm not gonna lie. I got the Browns winning the division. I'm not gonna front.
Take it.
I got the Browns winning the division. I got the Bengals second. I got the Ravens third, but I think all 3 of them gonna make the playoffs. And I said the Steelers gonna be last, but.
Yes. Say it. Say it. Say it.
I've been saying it. I don't think they happen to lose this season.
Yes,
lose the season, bro. I don't think it, bro. I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Like I don't see it. Like every year, he somehow finds a way.
Excuse me.
Bless you. But he finds. Bless you. But he finds out a way, dog. But yeah, I think Deshaun Watson might. I think he's gonna have a resurgence, bro. I think, like I said, you can't fuck this up, bro. You got too much good shit to do. You can't fuck it up, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, there's no way.
Fucking up.
There's no way you're that watched to where you messing it up, bro. There's bro, I can't.
That might be if he doesn't return to form, that might be an all-time fall off. Like that's like
it's also like the
money.
It's
Like,
the worst contract probably in sports history.
For example, it'll be the Darren Williams of the NFL.
Yeah,
it's like the worst. It's the worst sports contract in history, right? Like we can agree on that.
If you pay like
real
paying a man after playing football for 2 years, essentially,
you can't
a fully guaranteed contract would be like that's insane.
Yeah,
you can't even move off of it. You can't.
Yo, Josh, you want to bet on that, bro?
Yeah. Stefanski, I promise you, he's not going to ride his career on Jameis Winston.
Nah.
Because if they don't perform this year, he might get fired.
We're going down with the Deshaun shit, bro.
Yeah, you gotta go with that.
Whoa. Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah, I just think because of the contract.
No.
Here's the reason why.
By the way.
No, I'm
You
saying
say pull up to Wayne Casey?
The reason why is because I don't see how you like. Maybe I'm wrong. It's fully guaranteed, so I don't see how you move off that contract. You can't.
It's impossible. You can't move off until the last year.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to, and I think there is a little bit of clash with what Stefanski wants to do and what Deshaun is good at. So I think they would just cut bait with Stefanski and go get. Oh, you almost have to get a coach that fits what Deshaun wants, essentially, and you just got to ride it out, and you got to try. But yeah, they got to make it work.
Darren Sharper can be their head coach.
Oh, yes.
What do you think?
No, I'm not. I said that once. It's not a thing that can
He's bugging. Yeah. Anyways, he's bugging. Anyways, that's
Go
gonna
hire
do
Cliff Kingsbury.
What's a? That's wait, Charlie. You gonna be in the core? I need you to show this game from Watson. I got another stream to do, but I'll probably stream it. I might. I'll let you know. But that's gonna do it for today's show. Appreciate everybody that came out. We back live every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 Central. We're going live on Thursday for college football. VIP room is gonna be back soon. Of course, the film room is gonna be every Friday. We're gonna figure that one out. Might be Brock Bowers versus Kyle Pitts, college. You know, because we get into that type of shit. And it's August. Football is here, bro. Preseason about to be here next week, or I think preseason is this week.
This week.
Yeah, preseason this week.
Here. Football season is here. It's been a long off season.
Yes, Lord.
Like I said, make sure y'all tune into the Tampa Bay Bucks vlog that I did. Unfortunately, I can't. What's the name? I'm back in Houston. We about to start school, so I can't go back out there for a little bit until right before the first game of the season, because of course I got school and shit. So I thought I was gonna be able to get Baker before I head out, but I couldn't, sadly. But still got Antoine Whitfield, Bucky Irvin, Sterling Shepard, Mike Evans. Make sure y'all go tap in that, bro. That shit was fire. That shit was lit. And yeah, man, we out, bro. Peace. And also too, we will be back doing the Twitter Spaces soon. Just soon.
Yeah, blame him.
Yeah,
blame him.
let's go.
Sorry.
We need those. We live for those.
Anyways, we gonna catch y'all, bro. We out, bro. Peace.